like financial, it is now for all of us to work hard together to ensure that we save the country. Those who are in office, the right thing, those who are in opposition, to ensure that the right things are done. And we will do so on our own part. I guess it. Let me start with the issue of Labour Party members. I've actually discussed this issue with them. Surprisingly, I can tell you, I heard that these vehicles are official cars, and I don't know if they have to use it. It's meant for official vehicles. So it's not as if it's their vehicle that is meant for official cars and everything. Because we can pay for it and sell it. If it's your car, you return it or do something. But they said it's official car and that everybody is meant to use. You're meant to use it while you're in the Senate. But you know how things work. It's not going to be like that. But so what I tell people is that it won't be if Labour, we were in office, nobody would have contemplated such. And that's where we want to go from. Because it is not enough to do the wrong thing and then start correcting it, but it shouldn't even be. Just like people are saying, oh, maybe the issue of yours have withdrawn, or this one, it shouldn't even be mentioned in the first place, because it touches the sensibilities of people to do that. On the issue of a single term, we campaign or campaign vigorously on issue of restructure and reform. So that is clear. And that would have included so many amendments to make this constitution be a workable and functional constitution that will be productive for Nigeria. Including in that would have been issue of single tenure. I thank Vice President Atiku Abubakar for his position and his commitment to ensure that things work better going forward in Nigeria. But I disagree slightly. I will go for 5-year tenure, which will go for 30 years, provisional for 5-year tenure. And I'll still campaign for one thing. If we cannot go back to the issue of parliamentary democracy, we must have a policy system that will allow our leaders elected, whether prime minister or president, to be able to be part of the legislation especially to answer questions, maybe presidential question time or prime minister question time, instead of hiring surrogates and people who are not elected, who have nothing to be canvassing and telling us stories. We want to hear from the people we elected now. And that is critical, very important. We cannot continue this way where we are now, where people have outsourced leadership. Thank you. We don't regret anything. We came out and campaigned on a new Nigeria. No other party. And we remain, our position remain consistent. So consistent and consistent on a new Nigeria. A Nigeria where things will be done properly. So we're not regretting anything. We don't know who knows tomorrow. Tomorrow, we can't predict tomorrow, but I'm telling you where we are. Our commitment is for a new Nigeria, and we will remain committed to it. Thank you very much. That's what we just said. For us, the destination. We committed to where we're going. And nothing will stop that. That is the art commitment. And the question before that, where is my answer? On issue of our party. The leadership of our party is not in question. Like it is in every system, especially these are the troubling things that is happening in Nigeria, where people are trying to bring in We'll make the party stronger. We'll build it. Those young people is mentioned that are virtually tired, we'll re-energize them. We'll make sure that they walk down the road. We'll make sure that we carry them along to our destination. We are committed to it. Labour Party, the obedient movement, everybody will come out of this stronger, better, more committed to a new Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
My name is Dixon. I anchor Nigeria right now on AIT. Sir, with the call for the opposition parties to form some form of alliance, is there a window or a door open for such to happen between you and possibly the other opposition parties, like PDP and the rest of them? Because right now, some of the excuses why these shenanigans succeeded is that the opposition parties are fragmented. So is there anything that you have available in that direction, sir?
Well, I think I've answered that question. The future is dynamic. Our question now is to ensure that we do the right things, that we ensure that Nigerians know our commitment, especially making sure that our resources are efficiently managed for the benefit of Nigerians. Things are getting worse here. People are suffering. Look at the level of people they said now that are going into temporary depression and everything. That's our commitment for now. We want to start talking about the issues that put people out of poverty. We want to deal with the issue of hunger, issue of productivity and everything. As we go along, we'll know. Let me, again, as we end, most sincerely thank all of you who are here. I saw a lot of our wonderful and patriotic senators who are here all over the place. Labour senators, House, party members, everything, members of our family, especially the journalists that are here. Thank you. You are all part of this new movement to build a new Nigeria. Because about your children, about society your children will live in. We must build it. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
This is Channels Television, and you've been watching a press conference by the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 general elections. We now return to our regular programming.
Mr. Koledo
April the 15th.
I'm sure you probably know he's one of the biggest critics. I'm just reading the names of the people that are already in the studio. Please don't sign out, even if you are not seeing your picture yet. But Abuchi Oi, Ola, and Chukwu Dala, Joshua, Ahana, Judah, Osamudiane, You all are in the studio, Grace and Etta,
Is there somebody's my
and one of your biggest critics.
No,
He's from your state.
Nobody's my critics.
Please.
Everybody. They're all contributing.
Yeah, exactly.
Critics are people who also help you to do better. So
Please and please, you only have 10 seconds. I'm sorry. Just go straight to your point. Say your first name. Go straight to whatever you want to ask. I beg of you. The man is tired.
no
We
problem.
appreciate his time and the event. He's enjoying it. What they are trying to drag him out since. He says he's enjoying the interview, sir. Go and start the program. He will come later. So please, once you get in the studio, sir, yes, please go straight to your question and please don't drag anything. Rudolph Okonkwo, you have 10 seconds.
Governor, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay.
Governor,
Okay.
Governor, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate this time to talk to you.
What's your question, Rudolph?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So my question is very simple. Most people in Nigeria, they believe that the country is broken. The country is like a car that is that knocked engine and it doesn't need a new driver, that it needs to be fixed. The engine needs to be fixed, but you want to be the driver of the car, that the engine is knocked. Let me read you what your hero, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, said. I know, we have to frame it very well. The Federation, this was in 1969. He said that the Federation of Nigeria is as corrupt, and oppressive and irreformable as the Ottoman Empire was in Eastern Europe over a century ago. And in contrast, the Federation of Nigeria, in the form it was constituted by the British, cannot, by any stretch of the imagination, be considered an African necessity. Yet we are being forced to sacrifice our very existence as a people to the integrity of that ramshackle creation that has no justification either in history or in the freely expressed wishes of the people. So the question is this: was Ojukwu wrong in 1969? Do you think that Nigeria, as is currently constituted, is necessary, is working for people? And do you think that we need to get a new driver instead of changing the engine of this car that is not?
I don't understand
Rudolph,
what you said.
Rudolph, you know, I was the person who said that this car has an engine knob.
I didn't want to say that. I wanted to say it. Good.
Require that changing a driver will not make a difference.
Yes. And what changed?
It was my own position. I remain my position. But what I keep saying is that we don't need to keep the driver that knocked the engine or the driver that knocked the engine. We need to change the driver that will even take it to a workshop where it is going to be fixed. Because even if you see vehicles that are being towed, there's somebody there managing to turn the wheels until you get to the mechanic center. Otherwise, it's going to be worse. You know.
So that's what you are going to do.
You need to send it to the mechanic workshop. Somebody needs to be driving it so that we don't have a situation where it will go from engine knock to the car have done a full-blown accident. But that, position you've taken, and I said, Ojukwu was my leader. And on his last days, he believed that with competent leadership, you can start repairing this situation. Like you know what Achebe said, there's nothing wrong with Nigeria. The air is good, the food is good, the environment is good. God blessed us. What we are lacking is to have leadership, character, competence, capacity, and commitment to building a better Nigeria. Every country is as diverse as we are. Even some are more diverse as we are. Big countries like Indonesia are more diverse. Even if we talk about religion, the biggest Muslim country is Indonesia. So why are they doing well and everything? And today in Nigeria, you know that no part of Nigeria is doing well. I've asked people who think it's about tribe, why is there Katsina not the safest place in Nigeria? Why can't we drive to Kaduna by road or by air, anything? Is it because someone from southwest or southeast is the president? No. Is there anywhere the northerners buy bread cheaper? Or is there any road that they can go on?
But Governor, let me.
What place is the problem? And this problem can't be fixed if we start fixing it. While I believe, like I say every day, we need to start a process of talking about how we can restructure the place to make it more effective. I just talked about policing. There's no reason why you should not have a state police. There's no reason why federal government should be the one dealing with the issue of education. There's so many things that we can do to restructure the place and make it more effective while remaining as a true federation and running effectively.
Thank you, Rudolph. Sir, you don't.
I know he wants to ask more.
Yes. Governor.
Don't worry. I'll collect his data from me and we'll discuss.
Yeah, I'll give you his number. So
critics because
Okay, good. Thank you.
Makes things better.
Thank
please
you,
help me
Governor.
fix this audio thing because when people ask questions, it's echoing.
Rudolph, don't worry, I'll get to you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this brief conversation after the press conference that P2B just had in Lagos, in Abuja. And we want to talk about your impression of what he said. And we look forward to having him on this show very soon, now that this is out of the way, because there was pressure on him to have a conference like this before any talking to a particular media organization. So, all right, CM, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Rudolph.
Yeah,
good afternoon from UK.
Yeah, good day.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, guys. I'm not going to stay long because I will be heading out in the next 5-6 minutes.
Okay, so you can start. Did you watch the press conference?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen it.
Okay. So I started watching late. I didn't see the whole thing. So CM, did you see the whole thing?
Yes, I did. Somebody alerted me to it, so I quickly joined. Although he has started, but not maybe a minute or two when he started. Then I joined. Okay. He was kind of he poo-pooed the judgment of the Supreme Court, right? I mean, even the tribunal. Of course, he's saying what we've already known. Although the way he described it, he was kind of saying they use technicalities, all those type of things in place of the rule of law, which we all know. So the judgment was not delivered based on the letters of the law, what the law say, but it's just a case of they use technicality to arrive at an answer. They arrive at an answer which they want to arrive at. So that's what he's saying. And then he expressed hope that also said that people should not lose hope, that after all, the destination he was driving people to is a new Nigeria. And until they get to that destination, in other words, no rest, no sleep, no relaxation until we get there. Because in his own words, from what I gathered, he said, there's every possibility Nigeria needs a new Nigeria. Now, when he get to the question and answer session, because they want to pin him down on certain things, like what they said, 6 years single term, like Atiku proposed, can he be part of it? he was kind of saying that where he was campaigning, part of his new Nigeria agenda is even restructuring and then through federalism and all that he's going to do, that all these things are built into it. Rather than 6 years, he suggested 5 years. So he handled that question very well, and then albeit the way he did it. Now the issue I wanted to, and then other things he said about constitutionalism and then the way it is. What I wanted to ask him, I thought maybe when I saw the first thing you were showing, I thought it's live. I didn't know because I was wondering, say, is he wearing a blue shirt? Is he not the person who just finished? So when I heard Diola Faye's voice, I said, no, it cannot be. Maybe it's one of those ones before the campaign. What I wanted to ask him is this. Nigerians are bruised. It is true he inspired a new generation of Nigerians. The mandate was clearly stolen. He may not use the word stolen, but we Nigerians, we know. The question I wanted to ask him is this. Can he be a bulwark? Can he stand on the way? If tomorrow let me just speak for myself, I take to the street, carry my placard that look and do what others are doing. They did it in Egypt to remove this man, Muhammad, what is the one that...
Mubarak.
The one, is
Mubarak.
The one that Sisi succeeded. They did it
no, but that's not the person Sisi succeeded. Sisi didn't succeed Mubarak. Sisi succeeded the brotherhood guy.
Yeah. That's what Rudolph gave me, but I know he's the one that he studied at University of Southern California, PhD in material science. That is the man. Muhammad, I've forgotten, but I will get the name. So the Egyptians did it, and this is a Muslim country, a leading Muslim country, and the power of the Arab League. They came out, forget about the issue of religion, praised that this government is not what they want, and they got what they wanted. Now Egypt is selling. They are building a brand new capital in a desert. Brand new. Go just Google new Egyptian capital. Then Kenya, they did it. Even in Rwanda, you can't attempt this. Then what claim has Nigeria to lay to being the giant of Africa? If ordinary civil, let us be civil and stand on the road and carry placard without disturbing anybody. We can sort of reach a consensus on what to do. Then how do the people in the man that stole the mandate knew that the people are really not against it? Imagine him bragging that he won. He need to tell him that, look, you didn't win. What I'm holding now is a red pencil. It's red. We all see it as red. So does it matter Rudolph took me to Supreme Court and Supreme Court says it's black? What does that is? There, Supreme Court is the final court. So far, Supreme Court has ruled in favor of Rudolph. Rudolph's view should be taken. I can't take that. We all know it. So that is the question I wanted to be. If I'm to pass, I said, look, will you condemn people if they come out to protest, or will you say, or will you stand on their way? As long as we won't stand on the way, this is our people. We have to express our grievances the best way we feel, especially in a democratic way. Part of protest is a democratic principle. It's part of democracy to protest. We do it every day.
Yeah, so, CM, hold on, okay. Let me get the views of these people who are about to leave before they leave. I know that I'll talk to you again. Tim, so you have anything to say to us? I know you are.
Yes. So since I didn't watch, so I'm going to. My responses may not be 100% accurately addressing what he said, but if I can take from what CM has just said, you see, I don't want to be misquoted, and we've had this conversation, but the thing, my belief is that for Nigeria and for Nigerians and for the Nigerian politicians, it's still the same thing in the sense that, yes, while we may agree that Obi is a breath of fresh air and all that, but when it comes to this easily accepting, what is not good and what we know clearly not to be the right thing, and we rationalize it with wanting peace. And I'm not saying Nigeria should burn because I live in a peaceful Canada, because that is usually what people would think, that you are asking for chaos, but you are far away somewhere where there is peace. No. For me, I think we lost the plot or Obi lost the plot, or even Atiku lost the plot, when at that point they could not show their grievance through some form of social or civil I don't know if it is right to use the word disobedience, but you know what I mean. Go on the streets, be peaceful, but pass a message. Let them see that you don't agree with what they have just done. And in all those places that TM just mentioned, that was what happened. Nobody sat down and said, let us wait and see if this brotherhood guy is going to suddenly change. If he changes, then we move on. Or let us see if the judiciary will do this. Even that Kenya you mentioned, nobody said that. They all were, listen, when you are angry for injustice, anger towards injustice it shows. There's some measure of outrage you will show. Even in the civil rights movement in the US, back in the days, they hit the streets. Rosa Parks does not say, okay, let me go to court. Let's see if the judge says that this Alabama law is wrong. No, they came out and expressed themselves. And that's why I'm thinking that it's beyond Obi. It's a national issue. Nigerians were just like that. It looks like, even though people accuse us of being aggressive, but I think Nigerians are largely very peaceful people. It shows. It's the honest truth. We are largely very peaceful. We're always looking for a middle course on how to address peace. And that middle course we keep looking for is why our aggressors and people who misrule us take us for granted. There is this perception that, don't worry, just give them a few days. Everybody will let it go. I remember in the days of Obasanjo, when Oshomole was NLC chairman, there was a strike, one of the biggest strike he called, one of the most effective ones, and the government tallied in responding. I got some little information. The government was saying, don't worry, when hunger hits Nigerians a little bit, that they will all begin to rebel against NLC and say NLC should call off the strike. Because why? There's this belief that Nigerians, that we don't stay a course. We don't fight to the end. And so, as much as, I have moved on, I'll be honest with you, I've moved on. I want to talk other things. But for him being the core actors, the way they easily gave in, that whole let's wait for the judiciary. Our judiciary is part of our problem. Anybody who doesn't know it up till now is dwelling in la la land. So I think maybe Nigeria should move on. It has happened. The main actors have moved on. They will focus on their businesses. So I see no reason why the ordinary Nigerian shouldn't also move on. So, but I don't agree with the approach they went through. I thought they should have stayed a little bit more. CM has mentioned a few places, even the Mozambique one that just happened. You see that it was a spontaneous thing. People came out to register their displeasure, so that even the system will go back and think about it. And that's the only way you can shake a system. I'm not asking for anybody to go and die. I'm not asking for anybody to go and, no. What I'm saying is we can't always be looking for this easy access out a crack. Like you rightly said, and I'll end here. You said something about we should never miss the opportunity of a good crisis. There was a way you put it, Dr. Damages, somewhere in one of your programs. You said a good help me if you remember.
Myself. That it's a terrible thing to waste a good crisis, something like that.
Exactly. It's a terrible thing. And listen, crisis is not bad. Crisis is conflict is what brings progress. When two people butt heads and disagree, then they sit down and they have a conversation and look for a way to move forward. But once you do this over gentleman thing, I've told you, love me jeje does not take you to anywhere. Love me jeje will keep you in the same situation that is bringing decay and lack of progress. So that's the point I want to make before I head out.
All right, thank you, Chim. I also see that electricity is on the way to somewhere, I don't know, but let's hear from him before we go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks very much. I'm just on my way to the house, just finished work now. Yeah, good evening, good afternoon all. I've not listened to the speech, but going by what CM said, I think it's in line with what I'm writing on for my next broadcast. But I'm going to pick on you, CM, if you don't mind, based on what you said, that we never reach a consensus. Am I correct in that? Please, can you? We have a problem reaching a consensus. Is that correct?
Was it? Did I really say that? Do you mean the people to agree to do?
Yes,
to do
to
something,
the people to agree, to have a consensus, the people.
Well, to some extent, I could say so.
Okay,
because
that's what you said. Just hold it there. You see, with due respect, CM, it is people like you and others. That's why we've not reached a consensus. Because one, you people will say the constitution is wrong. I mean, the constitution is bad. We know the constitution is bad, but it needs to be fixed. It's you people that will say the nation should divide. The nation should go this way. The nation should go that way. When you guys create such confusion, how are we going to reach a consensus? How?
Because anyway, probably I may come in your show to debate you on it. I don't want to use up this space. But the thing is this: you can only know a consensus is reached when you see people acting in unison. For instance, I cited the example of the only consensus you can reach with respect to this last election is protest. Without protest, you can never tell people you've reached a consensus. It's only protest you can use to demonstrate or dramatize it, whichever way you want it. Something was stolen from you. Then if everybody go home and start to discuss different alternatives, you can't blame. There's no consensus. Did people come out to say no, enough is enough? That's what I said. This is the question I should have asked people to be, that if this thing should take place, will you stand on the way? Will you disapprove of it? All you wanted to do is that you give way. You've led us. You've exposed our eyes. You've made us to understand that for Nigeria to survive, we move from consumption to production. And we all agree. And we've seen in you the example, the best we've ever had since 1999 of character, principle, commitment, and integrity. So what then do? We cannot lose the moment. So that's why I'm saying, until something like that happens, you can't say you reached a consensus. You can't bring people together to cope. It's only this type of street. You show protest, carry your placard, write your message, people will read it, world press will see it, even the man in Aso Rock will know that yes. So really, these people are against me. And you see the population, millions. So that is how even if in the end, you go home and sleep, but you must show something. If you step on somebody's feet, the person will just, react and say, oh, he says, sorry. That is to tell you that the person has realized that you stepped on his feet. But if I step on your toes and you didn't say anything, I may think that it's some byflies I stepped on. So that is what I'm saying. To that extent, we've not got a consensus. It's not because of different ideology. You can't bring people together. Meanwhile, some people are feudal in nature. They have to defend their feudalism. Some people are Republicans. Some people are monarchical. So what do you say about that? That is when you marry all these things together, you still have to come to the conclusion that the only consensus people could reach with respect to this election is to protest. And when you protest, it's in order. And when you do it, people can see reasons that yes, at least the people who you stole their mandate are not happy. Let me stop here and give others. I would like to take it up with you, debate it on your show where if you get in, then we.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I was using a mobile network. That was why I got cut off. Rudolph, with due respect, you said something very important. Very, very important. Missing the opportunity, the momentum that was created in respect to this 2023 election. And I hope we are.
All right, let's wait for him to get into the house and maybe we can reconnect. And in the meantime, Ikola, welcome to the show.
We can capitalize.
Thank you, Dr. Rudolph. I think electricity is back.
Go ahead. Here, let him get inside.
Okay. No, I didn't see the press conference. I thought the press conference was on, so I came to see if I could listen. But unfortunately, I missed it. But based on this discussion, I read something today which was quite interesting. Someone was saying that the Nigerian elites are their main aim is to impoverish the people, such that, because it's the person was actually looking at the state of the economy, and then he said the main idea of the Nigerian elite is to impoverish to the people to the point that they will depend on them and their families for a long time, such that it will be very hard for anyone to raise his head and say they want to be challenged. And you can see it is not it is not it is glaring. It is very glaring. Somebody called me the other day and said this is Zafara commissioner, whatever he did, and the video was flying around. The first thing I told him was that is not news. Every other thing of this nature that has been happening, what has Nigerians done? You know to act. But when you know and you're not acting, what is the reason for knowing? So I mean, are Nigerians waiting? Okay, they've seen that they have been shown that their elites want to impoverish them, no matter what happens. Look, if you leave it to the Nigerian elites, and Obi would never be president. I have come to that conclusion now. If you leave it to the Nigerian elites, Obi would, because he's a threat to their nature. He's a threat to their way of life. He's a threat to their culture. So that kind of person must never get there. Right. It is they've agreed on that. So if somebody is now thinking that the man, after displaying all that to you, should also come to you and tell you what to do, I think you're asking too much of one person.
All right, thank you. Let's I see you today. I'll come to you, but let me I know that he's trying to join us from work, and I want to see if we can join and we hear his view, then we'll continue. Dr. Alexander, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning, folks, from Texas. I had the opportunity to watch the able Peter Obi make a comment on the Supreme Court judgment. Look, Peter Obi is the singular most important politician in the history of Nigeria the last 30 years. Like Dr. Fabi said yesterday, taking a non-entity party with 5,000 votes to 6 million votes in the space of 6 months or thereabouts is not is something to be commended. I have a lot of respect and admiration for the man's personality, essentially, amongst other things. But I think we have come to the end of the road. Like you rightly said, he's the main opposition leader now. So what we need to do is call out these so-called useless politicians, for lack of a better word, when they're going wrong, and we pray that our country gets out of where we are today, because things are really rough, and it breaks my heart to see people go through what they're going through. But we're now in governance. Politicking is over now, so that's my position. The Supreme Court already made the judgment, and we have to live with it, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, Dr. Alexander, was there anything that stood out for you from the press conference that you had?
It wasn't from my standpoint. It wasn't quite audible on my system.
Everywhere.
Yeah, but I think the key takeaway for me is when he said, and rightly so, that he will play the role of an opposition leader now, like we do in the United Kingdom. So where the government is going wrong, the onus is on him as the leader, as the most important politician in Nigeria today, to point out where we're going wrong and what can be done. Politically, I don't think his career is over. I think he has so much to offer the nation. I've been saying this forever. For anyone willing to listen to my crooked Yoruba voice, he's a very important personality. one thing I have come to realize, unfortunately for us, and I've been to most African countries, is our obnoxious attitude. We're very rude people. Maybe we might not know it, but we're very rude people. But in Peter Obi, you find the opposite. You find a perfect gentleman. You know, I respect that a lot about him. You know, a man of his status, as humble as he is. I don't think that many of them in Nigeria today. So, so that's what I got out of the press conference. That yes, okay, the elections are over now. The Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, has made a decision. Okay, we'll move forward. But I would essentially, I'm around, and I'll essentially be the voice of the masses, especially the obedience and the Labour Party. I think that was well said.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Jide, did you watch?
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
Dr. Rudolph and fellow panelists. Actually, I didn't watch this thing. In fact, I just saw a notification and then I tried to log in on my cell phone. I said, okay, let me come into my laptop. Unfortunately, I discovered that what I saw on my cell phone was already done. So I didn't get to have the opportunity to watch it, which I have long been expecting, because I was even discussing with CM yesterday and some other people. I am beginning to be disappointed so much in Obi. The reason being that by now, it's almost 2 weeks, the ruling has occurred. I expected him to come in yesterday, immediately after that ruling, to issue a press conference. He has the right to do that, a press conference, and then let people know his mind towards what has just happened. That's the ruling. And then also to let millions of his followers, those that have believed in him, those millions of despondent, helpless and hopeless Nigerians, like me, that have put our trust in him, and we hope, in hope that he will stand for what he believes and fight for it. But unfortunately, personally, I have totally been disappointed, because if or if he knows he can't be able to stand up and be ready to fight for what he believes and be on the forefront to fight, to lead the teeming population that want to give, that want to sacrifice even their life at this point, as long as they see a credible leader like him to be on the forefront while they fight and rescue Nigeria from these hoodlums and thieves, led by an international criminal and a drug addict and a drug lord, Tinubu, then why did he have to venture? Why did he have to come out? I totally regret everything, and I wish Sowore had had this kind of opportunity. I wish Sowore had had a message that would have resonated among the Nigerians, like Peter Obi did, so that, if he had had this kind of opportunity, honestly, I think Nigeria would have been on a different trajectory by now, because this nonsense, this slap on the face of Nigerians by the endemically corrupt institutions of Nigeria that have been corrupted even more, 10 times more, is this man, Azuma Surok, would have been rescued. And then again, I said to myself, who in his right mind now in Nigeria will think that going forward, the administration, which we have already seen the step that is taken, and so far every bit of the step they have taken so far has been aimed totally at impoverishing the already impoverished Nigerians, have been aimed at putting them, making them of less a human being. They don't care. They don't have any sensitivity at all. Otherwise, how can we explain the fact that this needs of hunger and poverty that has pervaded, that have ravaged the country now, Tinubu will be buying Tinubu will be budgeting 1 point something billion for his wife, and all the billions and billions and billions of naira we are listening about their budgeting, and none of them is even meant for capital project that is capable of lifting up the economy of Nigeria and making things better. Nothing. All of them are all to continue to further satisfy their inordinate, their insatiable need of corruption and looting and everything.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know. Nigeria is gone. It's gone forever. And like electricity, pointed was saying that why would people be thinking of divide Nigeria? These are the reasons.
George, hold on. I don't want us to go far away from what the topic is.
Okay, thank you. I'm just so annoyed.
It's okay. This is what I want to do. I know that Ovie watched it, and I want to hear from people that watched it, and I also want to play part of the press conference in a few minutes. But first, I want to hear from people who watched it so that we get their feedback. Let me say this. I felt that the part I didn't watch it from the beginning, so the part I saw him speaking louder and harsher than before. He talked about labor members of the National Assembly. Why should they why they accepted the SUVs that they were given, and also he talked about money, how the government is spending money and what the money should have been used for. So there are some concrete things that actually happened that I want us to get to before we go on the general discussion about the state of the nation. So AY, did you watch it? No.
No.
Okay, hold on. I'll come to you. Ade, did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh wow. All right.
Good morning, doctor.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Doctor, I wish you can just play it briefly.
No, I'll play it, but I just want to.
I didn't watch it. So thanks everyone, and thanks for letting me in. Thank you.
Okay, I know that Ovie watched it, so let's hear from Ovie a little bit. Ovie, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Yes.
Ovie is not there. Ovie has fallen off. Okay.
I did watch it. I think, as far as I'm concerned, he said only one thing: that I'm not going anywhere. I keep running and running and running, which to me is a good thing, right? So that means the game is about to start. So he believed that one try is not enough. So I applaud him for that. I thought he was going to just pack and go away, but while you guys are having this conversation, CM, I don't know, CM, you know, one person will be say you do your research where you read a lot, but I think you should still read more on Arab Spring. I think we should read more on that. I don't even think that's what we should be aiming for, because we did that already on the different setting. When I say we did that, when we chased the military guys away, that's exactly what the Arab Spring attempts. Because if you actually go into detail what happened during the Arab Spring, you find out that there are three main power blocks there: the Arab brothers, the military elites, and the family of Mubarak. And I think prior to 2011, there was no election per se. They had a democratic president, but because the history, the history from day one, system they governed there. Up to Mubarak was trying to change the tradition by grooming his son, who did not go through the military hierarchy, to try to become president, and that's why that the protest erupted. Now, the Arab brothers have upper hand when Mubarak stepped aside when they had their election. The Arab brothers have upper hand because they took their time and went on the ground. See, we actually started the speech. We need to go back to the people and educate them and bring them along. Not exactly his words, but he alluded to that. So the Islamic brothers, they were on ground, conscientizing them, investing in them, which is what our guest yesterday was suggesting, which is what the guy that used Tata say as an example on Saturday was actually saying. I don't know. I'm getting the feedback.
Yeah, go ahead. Go on.
Yeah, which is what the guy that was using Tata as an example.
All right, we can't hear you anymore. Okay.
Could gather the majority of the population to vote them into power. But what happened after the Islamic Brotherhood got to power? And that's the first time an Islamist extremists actually ruling any of the Arab world. Right, so the way they were governing the country did not go down well with the military elites. That's why they step aside when the first protest was going on and the second protest was going on after the Islamic Brotherhood took office. They step aside the first time, but this second time, they actually went ahead and overthrew the Islamic Brothers. And that's what they have today. In a way, they are back to square one, but they learned their lesson. So if you want, they learned their lesson, their country is doing well. We have not learned our lesson. When we chased the military guys away, although we did not do the way the Arab people did it, guess what? Some people will argue that there was no concrete planning, or people who fought for democracy couldn't believe that the military will actually leave. So they decided to just step aside, and the military guys came back again in uniform and take over our government, which we are still experiencing today. But again, when we argued that with the coming of Tinubu has break that chain of military rule, but time will tell. So there's a lot about the Arab Spring that we can take from the organizing, for instance, but the end result no favor there. So we should also look at that. I don't know if I'm.
Thank you.
Ovie, please a minute. Ovie, the thing is, I know with different method, people can achieve the same outcome with different method. The outcome they achieved was the government in place, they don't want it, they don't like it, for whatever reason, they find a way to change it. The outcome I want us to achieve is this government in place is not exercising our mandate, a stolen mandate. We don't want it, and look at the situation. What do the people do? The best thing is to do it democratically, which is accepted all over the world. Protest. I mean, nobody's calling to go and do anything. Just protest. Even if in the end, it was adamant. But it will go on record that, yes, you protested. In UK here, when Tony Blair want to take the UK to war in Iraq, they said not in my name. But did they stop Tony Blair from going? He did not. And it was recorded as the biggest protest ever done by the UK. I participated then. So when you see things like this, I mean, okay, if we keep quiet, like I was I was trying to explain it. If you keep quiet, how then do your oppressor or even the Supreme Court realize that the judgment they gave, that part of those people protesting are even senior advocates or even lawyers, they understand the judgment that it was flawed. So how would they know? Even if anything, they will say, okay, we are very unpopular. Just don't be violent, but protest and then say that it's not in our in. Show your displeasure with what happened. But if you didn't do that, who loses? It's a double jeopardy for you. You lost your mandate. You lost your voice. You can't do anything to it. I mean, you never complained. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I should have asked Obi if people should come out as obedient, not obedient now, said the opposition, and they are carrying placard. You, Obi, will you be against it? That's what I wanted. This type of pointed question. That's what I wanted to ask him if I'm there. Thank you.
Okay. Hopefully we'll get him by Sunday. I will let you know. Electricity, hold on. Okay, let me just find out something quickly. TA, did you watch the speech? No, we can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Did you watch it?
Yeah. I watched the part of it. I mean, because when I was going out and when I saw it popped up on my screen that Mr. Obi's live on Dr. Damage, so I quickly ran back in. So I watched the ending part of it.
The ending part.
Where it was comparing it to Malaysia and the rest. So do you want me to make my point quickly or?
No, hold on.
Okay.
I actually wanted, because I didn't see the main where he spoke. I was seeing the questions and the answers. So that was not the full thing. All right. So what we're going to do now, let me just go back to AY. He hasn't done anything. So let's just take everybody their viewpoints, whether they watched it or then I'll play a little bit of that conference because I have it, and then we can then all talk about what we had. AY, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Rodolph. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I listened to a very short part of it. Um, Mr. Peter Obi, he always say the right things. I mean, a lot of things like if Peter Obi really is from what he's talking about, is able to get in get the position of Nigeria president. I think Nigeria will say I think he will do well because what I'm saying that is, politicians are politicians. Buhari said all the good stuff before he came into office. He messed up. The other thing is, I also like the fact that he's acknowledging that he's going to play the role of opposition. That is a very good one. I know some people on this platform, they be saying like, "Oh, let it up. You should not protest. You go and sit there." No. When you do that, you give these people more power, right? What I think they should do, the opposition is very, very important. I mean, he's not going to be coming every week to give press conference, but you have good spokesman. Look at what Lai Mohammed did during Goodluck Jonathan. He was very active as a spokesman for the opposition. Look for somebody like this that can really attack the government, that can go, this is his job. Like, let him criticize the government policy, what they are doing. Why Peter Obi himself is building political alliance across the country. Now, he has a lot of support in the South. In the North, to me, he has a lot of work to do. He should form an alliance with people. Yesterday, the guest was, I watched, there is part I watched where he was talking about the election, how APC were able to monitor the election to make sure he made a lot of good points. He was also advising he should talk to the opposition. Sowore is not a bad guy. People like Sowore, I'm sure if Peter Obi can sit with Sowore and explain to him, come, this is common goal, this is for the nation, let's work together. I'm sure he will listen. The only thing he can give him is, listen, this is my own consign, listen to him, talk to people like that. When I'm saying he should form opposition, Atiku should not be part of any opposition. If Atiku is part of Peter Obi, I will never support Peter Obi. Peter Obi need to get away from Atiku. Because, however, even if you want to form an alliance with PDP, with Atiku, I can tell you for a fact, Atiku will never allow Peter Obi to contest. He will insist. What he will tell him is, oh, don't worry, I will do one term, then you continue. He should not play that game. If he is really like a progressive, he should stay away from Mr. Atiku, work with people like Sowore, the younger ones, Kingsley Moghalu, all these guys, work with them. Look for such people all over the country, north, south, work with people that are progressive, that are ready to do it. I mean, the vice presidential candidate is also another good guy. He can get a lot of people from the north, form this alliance, talk to the people, because there is hunger in the land. Politicians will still come, give money to these people, they will go in their direction, what they want. I'm happy he want to stand as an opposition and play the role of an opposition. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ade?
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Peter will be saying that he wants to play the role of opposition. Is it Labour Party that wants to play the role of opposition, or just Peter Obi alone? Because I don't know how or where just one single politician.
Labour Party, of course. He's the leader of the Labour Party. Sorry.
Which Labour Party? The factionalized Labour Party that Peter Obi cannot bring, the one that he cannot bring together, or which one? You see, the politics in Nigeria is different from. It's not child's play. The Labour Party.
It's just Tinubu using his, because they thought that in the end, when they were going to court, all this Arabambi and the Supreme Court pronounced Julius Abure, Supreme Court, or whatever, as the chairman of Labour Party. So whatever faction dissolves. as long as it has been resolved through the court process and is genuine. So all this one we don't just have, even in APC, somebody can say this that's factionalized. Amwechi has a faction.
Okay.
In PDP, Wike has a faction together with your Tom and what is it called, Ibazo and them. So it's not a faction. There's no faction. The chairman is and they've
okay. Let's say okay. Let's agree. Let's agree that Labour Party is one. The House of Rep members that are from the Labour Party, who will now go ahead and receive their own SUVs, can Peter Obi tell them to refuse it and they will listen to him?
Peter Obi answered that question in the Peter Obi answered, or you didn't listen. Peter Obi answered that question in his press speech. He said he asked them. They said it's not personal. It's like this is like a typewriter or a computer for your office. When you are going, you leave it. He said that's why they just kept quiet. It's not that they're not going to go with it. If they give you an office today and buy laptop and print and keep there, it is for your.
I think playing the role of opposition. I think playing the role of opposition should start with members of Labour Party who are now elected members of either the Senate or House of Representatives should start their opposition from refusing this type of a gift, so to speak. You see, Peter Obi needs to know one thing. He has to start building relationships. And if you want to, for example, what happened in the last election that I understand from my look of things, you don't go to Lagos and say the organizing committee or the chairman of Labour Party in Lagos is somebody from the East. Then you go to Kano, then the chairman of Labour Party in Kano or Kaduna or in Katsina is somebody from the East. Those are the errors in these last elections that he has to work with, that he has to work on. Saying he wants to play the role of opposition is not just something that Peter Obi alone can do. And look at even this government. Look at this present government. Look at this present government. Let's assume. I'm not saying Tinubu is a saint. He is never. No, none of us is. If you look at that guy, Tinubu, even if he has a good heart and he wants to do something, look at how many people in that party who are vultures. Will they allow him? People in Labour Party itself, how many of them are in support of Peter Obi come 2027?
Let's bring some measure of candor to this discussion. Let's bring some measure of candor. In Lagos,
This thing is
whoever is the chairman of Labour Party in every state was the person elected or appointed.
All right, hold on.
Whoever was the person elected or appointed. That's the issue.
CM, hold on. You see, that's why I wanted us to channel this conversation on what Peter Obi said, and that's why I want to play. I want to play the video now so that we can watch. But before then, I think I'll give Tia a chance to say something just for 1 minute. Then I'll play the video so that we can all go back. This is not just a wide conversation about anything. Let's just focus on what he said. Go ahead, Tia.
Thank you very much, Dr. Damages. Look, what I'm going to say about Peter Obi, either you like it or not, I believe the guy is a smart guy.
Yeah.
You understand? He's very smart. He knew back then if someone like Abiola could be locked up and be killed and nothing came out of it.
Yeah.
Peter Obi is a billionaire. I said it here before. If someone could work with Atiku, they're all the same. Showore is there. Nobody went for him. You understand? And you guys will come here every day still singing the same old stories. For example, because I'm see on that day that Peter B is going to come to your show, I want to be there because I want to ask him. Now, look, if a governor could suspend local election for 6 good years, if you try it here in London, just the what's it called? If the PM tries that, suspending local government election, the country will go overblown. And nobody kicked against it. Because why? It's our own. You understand? So now, we have to start thinking towards Sowore. That's what I believe. Sowore went to visit Abiola back then. They offered Sowore money. He refused. You think a billionaire will now put his life on the line for you guys? How many of you guys can come from London and US and come and join the protest in Nigeria? And go forward that, yes, Nigeria must do this, Nigeria must do that. Mr. Dominic, I'm not going to say much. Play the video, please.
All right, thank you. Let's watch the video of Peter Obi's conference, and then we'll go from there.
More appealing the Supreme Court's judgment willfully condoned breaches of the Constitution relative to established qualifications and parameters for candidates in presidential elections. With this counter judgment, the Supreme Court has transferred a heavy moral burden from the courtroom to our national conscience. Our young democracy is ultimately the main victim and casualty of the courtroom drama. Without equivocation, this judgment amounts to a breach of confidence Nigerians have in our judiciary. To that extent, it is a show of unreasonable force against the great Nigerian people from whom the power of the Constitution drives. The Supreme Court's ruling may represent the state of the law in 2023, but not present demand for substantive justice. The judgment meets principles and precedents. Indeed, the rationale and premise of the Supreme Court judgment have been clearly brought to life by deep, prevailing, and troubling valedictory remarks of Honorable Justice Musa Letijo Mohammed, JSC, on Friday, 27, 2023. In disagreeing very strongly with the ruling of both the Presidential Petition Court and the Supreme Court on the outcome on the 25th February presidential election, as declared by the Independent Electoral Commission, as Democrats who believe in the rule of law will remind that the Supreme Court is the end stage of our quest for legal closure on this matter. As a party and candidate, Daddy and I have now exhausted all legal and constitutional remedies available to us. However, this end is only another beginning of our quest for vindication of hope to the common man for better Nigeria. After all, sovereignty belongs to the people, even for historical purposes. It belongs us to place our disagreement with and deep reservation about this judgment on public record. We have long been aware of how weak the national institutions have negatively affected our democracy. This year, 2023, has been quite remarkable and revealing. INEC displayed incompetence in the conduct of its statutory duties. The judiciary has largely acted in defiance of the constitutional tenets, precedents, and established ground rules. Political expediency has preceded judicial responsibility. A mechanical application of technicalities has preceded pursuit of justice and fairness. Both INEC and Supreme Court, as referees, respectively, shifted the goalposts in the middle of the game. Where the value and importance of INEC and recent Supreme Court ruling ends is where our commitment to a new Nigeria begins. Our mission has been more about anchoring a new Nigeria, and it remains unchanged. It is a nation where things will work, where the country will be led from its present waste and consumption orientation to a production-driven economy. Our commitment is to a nation anchored on principles of prudent management of resources, to quickly pull millions out of multidimensional poverty, ensuring transparency and accountability in a equitable distribution of opportunities, resources, privileges. In the new Nigeria, we aim to address unmet needs by showing compassion for all those left behind by the present system. Going forward, we in Labour Party and the Obedient Movement are now effectively in opposition. We are glad that the nation has heard us loud and clear. We shall not expand the confines of our message of hope to the rest of the country. We will meet the people in their places where they feel pain and answer the needs for hope. At marketplaces, motor parks, town halls, boardrooms, university and college campuses. We will carry and deliver the message of a new Nigeria. As stakeholders and elected Labour Party officials, we will remain loyal to our manifesto. We will continue to canvass good governance and focus on issues that promote national interest and unity and cohesion. We will continue to give primacy to our constitution, rule of law, and the protection of other liberties. We will offer checks and balances and will vote robustly in forthcoming elections to elect those who share our vision of a new Nigeria. Given the present national circumstances, there's compelling need for a strong political opposition. We shall therefore remain in opposition, especially because of the policies and governance modalities that we in Labour Party campaign for, especially the issue of reducing cost of governance, moving the country from waste and consumption to production, reducing inflation, ending insecurity, promoting the rule of law, guaranteeing the responsibility to protect and stabilize our national currency, are clearly not the priorities of the present administration, nor is it interested in achieving sustainable development goals. It has one thing that gladdened my heart in course of the struggle in the past 18 months. It is the passionate desire of our people, especially young Nigerians from across ethnic and minds, to construct a new and restructured Nigeria that will work for all Nigerians. The goal remains the light and abiding inspiration. Finally, I thank all Nigerians who believed in what is now only a revolution postponed. We deeply appreciate the unalloyed, non-partisan moral support millions of youths and ordinary Nigerians across ethnic, religious, geopolitical divides have continued to give Dati and I. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Nigerians who have supported this mission from the onset. We salute the leadership and members of the Labour Party, the Obedient Movement, the Obedient Presidential Campaign, Nigerians in diaspora, support groups, and all people of goodwill who work diligently and hoped for realization of the beginning of new Nigeria in this election cycle. Nigerians who supported our cause have done so out of patriotism and their sincere conviction that our nation requires and deserves dedicated and visionary leadership who will lead Nigeria toward a brighter future. The energy and dedication of Nigerian youth and obedient movement have been simply amazing. I appreciate and salute them. I want to assure them that this is not the end of our journey, but in fact, the beginning. Nigerians heard you, the world have taken note, and will not forget easily. We shall endure, persist, until we reach our destination, because new Nigeria is our destination. A destination is not an event. We thank in a special way our legal team. We also thank elder statesmen whose wise counsel were immeasurable. To them, we wish to state unequivocally that this judicial outcome, an obvious misinterpretation of substantial justice, has by no means foreclosed realization of a new Nigeria that is possible. On personal notes, I take pride and express gratitude to those who share our vision, who have exhibited rare courage to challenge the nefarious system, the genuineness of individuals, identities, and their defining and qualifying particulars up to the highest extent allowed by law. Nigeria holds out hope of infinite possibilities leading to a desirable greatness. I remain consistent in my belief of a possibility of a new Nigeria built on character, competence, capacity, compassion, integrity, respect for the rule of law based on justice and fairness. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Please, another round of applause for His Excellency. Thank you. We will take the Excellency will entertain questions. Will nobody 5 possibly? Okay. Daily Trust.
My name is Sheffield Suleiman from Trust You. Excellency, you did mention just now that your party, you and the party are committed to providing the necessary checks and ensuring that the right thing is done, despite the Supreme Court judgment. I am concerned about the recent passage, of a supplementary appropriation bill of over 2 trillion. Before then, there was also spendings that were okayed by the National Assembly to buy SUVs for lawmakers, for the lower and the upper chambers. The vehicle was 160 million for senators, for instance, and 135 million for House of Rep members. In these 2 chambers, there are a substantial number of Labour Party representatives, and together with their colleagues across party lines, they okayed all of this. What would you say in respect to the need to cut West, just like you mentioned, which is a principle, if you like, or one of the cardinal objectives of the Labour Party?
Well, thank you very much. Let me first elucidate a bit. Supplementary budget is a budget that is meant for very important national welfare needs of the people that is not captured originally in budget or does not have adequate funding. I'll give you an example. Nigeria today, we've read it in the past 1 week for United Nations World Food Organization that 26.5 million Nigerians will go hungry next year. This is an issue of national importance that we can go for supplementary budget. But we have a supplementary budget where we are mentioning issues of yachts, SUVs for First Lady's office, shows to the extent that this government is totally uncaring and we're in deep problem. We shouldn't be part of that. In fact, bringing in First Lady's office, which is not in our constitution, is even more problem. All funds meant for First Lady's office should be allocated and addressed to deal with the girl-child issue of education, to deal with the issue of education of the girl-child in Nigeria. The First Lady is there to look after the husband and work with him and everything to ensure that everything goes well. So for me, no one wants to ask this issue of SUV for National Assembly. Again, I can put it in the same basket that I put the alien one. It's very troubling. The SUVs for both houses will cost in region of, I think it's in the region of about 60 billion, if I'm right. Nigeria today, our primary health care today is collapsed. Which consequently, Nigeria now have higher infant mortality than India, a country that is 7 times our population. For you now to use funds that is higher than the fund allocated to primary health care to buy a car for 400 people, it shows height of insensitivity. And we have a way we can buy more competitive vehicle and everything for them, even from locally made. And most of them, sorry, even in the Senate, are people who already have cars. We don't really need to buy vehicles to them because some of them are my colleagues, yes, governors and everything. We don't need new cars again. It is time we must shake and show responsibility to what is happening. People like Nigerians already scamping for food from West Beam. And we're doing this. It shouldn't be. And I can go further to give you an example of how I handled it even when I was governor. So it's not the first time. When I became governor, I found out that the justices of High Court don't have cars in Anambra State. The permanent secretaries don't have cars. And when I became governor, they ordered for me 2 bulletproof vehicles. And I said no. Collect the money back, pay it to PAN, and say supply us 60 406 18 to Pansec, few to the commissioners that are appointed. The rest became my deputy governor and myself. Throughout my first term, everybody in Anambra said that I used 406. Nobody, but it was meant for 2 bulletproof cars. The money we used to buy this car, and nobody killed us. In that 4 years. So it is time for us to use money very judiciously.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Georgina Onfu from Radio Nigeria. Now that the Apex Court has passed the final judgment, how do we build a nation to avert these court cases in subsequent elections?
Well, as you can see, everybody has done that, and all institutions are broken down. Like it's been now shown, it is now for all of us to work hard together to ensure that we save the country. Those who are in office should do the right things. Those who are in opposition should ensure that the right things are done. And we will do so on our own part aggressively. Yes.
Your Excellency, my name is Friday. I work for Channels TV. I'd like to ask you, sir, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, when he also briefed on this same topic, the Supreme Court judgment, he made some recommendations. And one of the recommendations I can remember vividly now is this recommendation for a single term of 6 years on a rotational basis, rotational presidency. What's your view on that? And I just want to take you quickly on the issue that my colleague from Daily Trust raised, the issue of cars for people in the National Assembly. It is true that your party is in opposition now, since by virtue of the judgment of the Supreme Court. Then you have your members of the party who are in the Senate. Thank God we'll have one of them here. We also have some of them also in the House of Representatives. They are beneficiaries of this. So to what extent are you going to engage with them? And of course, those lawmakers at the state level, so that they will stand different from other lawmakers in these parties that seem to be doing things contrary to your vision.
Let me start with the issue of Labour Party members in the House. I've actually discussed this issue with them. Surprisingly, I can tell you, I heard that these vehicles are official cars. And I don't know, they have to use it. It's meant for official vehicle. So it's not as if it's their vehicle, that it's meant for official cars and everything. Because you can pay for it. I said, listen, give it your car, you return it or do something. But they said it's official cars. And that everybody is meant to do it. You're meant to use it while you're in the Senate. But you know how things work here. It's not going to be like that. But so what I said people is that it would be if Labour, if we were in office, nobody would have contemplated such. And that's what we want to go for. Because it is not enough to do the wrong thing and then start correcting it, but it shouldn't even be. That's like people are saying, oh, maybe the issue of Young have withdrawn, or this one, it shouldn't even be mentioned in the first place, because it touches the sensitivities of people to do that. On the issue of the single term, we campaign vigorously on the issue of restructure and reform. So that is clear. And that would have included so many amendments to make this constitution be a workable and functional constitution that will be productive for Nigeria. Including in that, would have been issue of single tenure. I thank Vice President Atiku Abubakar for his position and his commitment to ensure that things work better going forward in Nigeria. But I disagree slightly. I will go for 5-year tenure, which will go for 30 years rotational, or 5-year tenure. And I'll still campaign for one thing. If we cannot go back to the issue of parliamentary democracy, we must have a policy system that will allow our leaders elected, whether prime minister or president, to be able to be part of the legislation, especially to answer questions, maybe presidential question time or prime minister question time, instead of having surrogates and people who are not elected, who have nothing to do stories. We want to hear from the people we elected now. And that is critical. It's very important. We cannot continue with this way where we are now, where people have outsourced leadership.
Thank you. You are done. Okay. Hello.
Dr. Thompson.
All right, good afternoon, Your Excellency. Abraham Nakimala is my name, and I report for Uluwazodia FM. Prior to the general election, there were calls for you and the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party to come together and unite to fight the APC government. And after the elections, people were still saying that if we had, obeyed such calls, that we would have been having a different story now. Do you regret not, answering those calls? And do we see you, collapsing your structure to have this kind of a thing in the future? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We don't regret anything we did. We came out and campaigned on a new Nigeria. No other party did. And we remain, our position remain consistent. We're consistently consistent on that. On a new Nigeria. A Nigeria where things will be done properly. So we're not regretting anything. We don't know who knows tomorrow. If you can predict tomorrow, I don't think you'll be here. We can't predict tomorrow, but I'm telling you where we are. Our commitment is on a new Nigeria, and we remain committed to it.
Excellency, my name is Ben Medium East Nigeria. You make an assumption to be a strong opposition to this ruling government. They say charity begins at home. First and foremost, I know that there's crisis in the Labour Party. Even the chairman states there's crisis in the from what we have read so far and what we have seen so far. How do we intend to reconciliate everybody across the country so that we can have a viable opposition?
Okay. Last one from the air.
My addition is that since you have exhausted all the legal needs to reclaim the mandate, many of your supporters, the young Nigerians, they are tired, thinking that is it going to remain like this with the way the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, and Tribunal has settled this situation. So many of them are drawing back. What advice will you give to them to reclaim that hope of a new Nigeria?
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That's what we just said. For us, it's a destination. We're committed to where we're going, and nothing will stop that. That is our commitment. And the question before that, where is the man who asked the question before that? On issue of our party. The leadership of our party is not in question. Like it is in every system, especially these are the troubling things that is happening in Nigeria, where people are trying to bring in divisions in other people's houses. The Supreme Court has said those who are leadership of our party, and it's not based on judgment that is purchased or manipulated. It is based on the rule of law. That is this. This is what it is. And that will follow, and God will respect. And I assure you that in coming months, we'll make the party stronger. We'll build it. Those young people he's mentioned that are virtually tired and we'll re-energize them. We'll make sure that they walk down the road. We'll make sure that we carry them along to our destination. We are committed to it. Labour Party, the obedient movement, everybody will come out of this stronger, better, more committed to a new Nigeria.
Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. Thank you.
We can't hear you, Dr. Rudolph.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. So that's the press conference. So now at least everybody is on the same page. We now know what questions were asked and what he said. And so that we can, when we're having conversation, it will be, channeled to what was said and what happened. So observations. My first one is the vice president, the vice presidential candidate, Dati. I don't know if I ever want to be vice of anything. He wasn't laughing. He was just standing there, But I understand the significance of him being there. If he wasn't there, it would have been, it would have raised questions about the unity of the ticket and things like that. But let me hear from you guys. So let me start from, let me go, okay, electricity, let me start from you, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it clarified, I listened to it, it clarified what the opposition party, it's the opposition, with the opposition party. However, I find the best question that was asked, I can't remember which news station guy asked about if in respect to this supplementary budget, and I find his response, it appears contradictory, because one, he condemned the purpose of the supplementary budget, but at the same time, when he was asked about the senators or the Labour Party there, he said it's an official cap to them, so they are leaving it behind. I find that, I will use the word appears contradictory, because it's something I would like him to clarify further what it means. And also, if the Labour Party are the opposition party there, they all received the Akpabio token and prayer, and none of them rejected it. When we're talking about opposition party, we're talking about moral. It also includes moral standing and wanting to and presenting a different status quo in its entirety. And that is where I find it a little bit confusing. And we'll see how it will go. I listened to it, and like I said, I will listen to it again and dissect it, break it minute by minute, and maybe myself and CM will have a broadcast on it sometime. Thank you very much. I think that is all I have to say. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Electricity. Let's go to Jude. Jude, you're next.
Honestly, I didn't really see much about any major thing coming out of this press conference. It was as flat as as any speech I've ever had, and even most of his speeches during campaign is even much feisty and much better. I'm hopeful than what he has just done. Could it be that they have threatened him so much that they have beaten him to submission, that he merely came out to fulfill all righteousness? And this you can see even in the tone and in the delivery of the so-called press. I'm so appalled. I remember last year, about even the middle of last year, on this platform and many other platforms, when I said to Nigerians, yes, Obi might be okay, people might be better, see him as nice and stuff like that. Obi can never deliver Nigeria in terms of, because of that they will never, even if he wins the election, they will never allow him to be there, and so obedient to save their strengths to be able to fight for their mandate. And unfortunately, the various opportunities they have to fight and recover this through the jello, how will I put it, my senior respectable brother attitude of Peter Obi. Now we have lost that opportunity to fight. Nigeria is gone. Nigeria is gone. Take it or leave it. Nigeria is gone because no one can expect any of these people ruling Nigeria now, this conglomeration of thieves, because for the inception of this so-called democracy in Nigeria, we all can see that the assemblage of leaders we have now in Nigeria is the worst ever. The assemblage of thieves, terrorists, criminals, high-class international criminals. Those are the people leading us. Now we're talking about Labour Party opposition. What is opposition? Opposition is being in a party or opposing what is contrary about your own principle, your own goal, or your own ethics or belief. I believe Labour Party has a belief to lead Nigeria to a better nation, to a new Nigeria. And in that capacity, I expect that every one of those national congress that are there, led by, that got into Labour, that were elected through Labour Party, should have rejected. They were there when they knew about those SUVs or whatever. They should have rejected it or opposed it, or at least the least they could do is to say, you know what, if at all we have to buy this, let us source for this from the local manufacturer. We have local automobile industries, people that produce cars in Nigeria. Why don't they sit for it rather than taking our little meager foreign resource, foreign currency, this thing to go abroad and buy and promote companies abroad, rather than promoting our indigenous companies that will in turn provide more job opportunity for Nigeria? Why? That is the least they could have done, but they all kept short. We also saw them keeping short, keeping mute, and collecting the prayer from Akpabio. How can they say the opposition? They have all been compromised. We should just go home. I wish they would release Nnamdi, honestly. I wish they would release Nnamdi.
Thank you so much.
Please, Jude, don't let us call ambulance for you. Relax,
Jude, thank you so much. CM, did you watching it again? Did you hear anything something you missed the first time?
Actually, I think on the issue of supplementary budget, Obi said, like we all heard, that in principle, you use supplementary budget to address a shortfall in the financial budget which you've made, or maybe something cropped up which cannot wait till the next cycle of budgeting. He said that is what you can use it for. Not in principle, it's not bad. But in this case, why he condemned it was not directed at solving the poverty or alleviating poverty for the people. Rather, it was just to service a very illegal office of the first lady. It's unconstitutional, and you are budgeting billion for it. Yes, people will tell you, Jonathan had a first lady, Obasanjo did it. Look, if I do shoplifting, which we all know we condemn, it does not empower Rudolph to go and shoplift. That doesn't mean. So that is the aspect we should understand it. We can always rig election and say, after all, Tony Aneni rigged. Why? But somebody has to break the chain and say it is. That's why he gave example where he gave it. But Rudolph, apart from that, maybe in the next round you should permit me. I have two questions. One for TA, one for Ade, just for us to be clear on certain things. When they get to their turn, they answer.
We'll get to that. I want to now hear everybody's view based on the fact that we have watched the actual speech instead of what we were doing before. Let me see. Hold on, guys. I want to. Is somebody okay? City, is it City? City, yeah, City. CYD. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. So, Rudy, I'm not welcome to the show. CD just come. Did you want to jump me?
No.
It's turn by turn.
Yeah, it's turn by turn. I'm not. It's turn by turn, right? I didn't hear welcome your number.
If you're not happy, go to court. When I get to you, I want to make sure I go so that I don't get confused. So, go ahead.
You're already confused, brother.
If you're not happy, go to court.
It's my turn.
I hope it's not in Nigerian courts. Because we won't get justice.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
I think it was it's a statement that I think he just needed to do, and because of the clamor for him to talk, and then it's well thought out. Like I always say, he's best in his element when he's talking from without a script. He's much stronger in terms of, if you notice during the Q&A, that's where his strengths really lie. And I think he touched every issue with regards to election, trying to create a posture that he is the opposition. And he knows that in the country now, the only viable opposition to government is the obedient. And it amazed me that somebody talked about him collapsing his structure. This was a man that they said had no structure.
How can he collapse his structure?
Had no, nothing
which
around him.
Which structure is it going to
There's
collapse?
something reverberating back. Somebody's thing is
Yeah, who is speaking? Please let one person speak, please. Go ahead.
all right. So why tell a man that didn't have a structure to collapse his structure? It amazes me. So that means he was able to build a structure in few months. Now, with regards to the issue of the jets and all the paraphernalia of office that goes to the senators, I think he answered it clearly. Initially, he tried to sidestep. He focused a bit on the first lady issue, but when the Q&A time came, he was asked directly, and I think he just took it on, and that showed me he's a man of courage. He took it on. He answered what he has communicated to. It shows that he has had this chat with them. He has had the chat with the House of Rep and the senators. He has told them what he expects them to do. But the truth is this, just like what Alain Dume said, people are complaining about the yacht. It's already bought. They've already paid for it. They're just making noise. These things are bought already. It's just that they want to find a way to put it in the budget. So what happens generally, the workings of the House of Rep and the workings of the Senate is that these cars are already slotting. So even if you have, the Labour Party doesn't have majority in the House of Rep, neither do they have majority in the Senate. So the majority decides, we want to put these cars in motion, and we're buying it as official cars of the Senate and official cars of the reps, and they put it through. And no matter if you say you are not going to use it, that's fine, but it will be bought. It will be bought and will be kept there, and somebody else may even use it. So they need to take a stand and not use it, but that does not stop it being bought. It will still be bought. It will still be put there. So because it is bought not under the name of the senator, but under, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I think that's where people must understand and know that, okay, he's communicated it, so he's done his bit. The House of Rep and senators will do their bit now, but does not stop the cars being bought. They will still be bought. So I think in terms of the speech, it was very clear where his next line of action is, which is to ensure that he puts pressure on government in different areas, throw more light, hold his structure, his so-called structure, hold it down, ensure that his obedient structure is intact, and then wait out for the possibilities of the next 3 years as we approach the next election. The only thing I saw fascinating, which I don't know whether it was well thought through, was when he was asked the question of how many tenure limits, and with respect to what Atiku said. I think he had an idea of what he thinks and how he intends to do it, but what he's presenting is a Herculean thing. It's either you decide to bring us back to parliamentary system, or how he wants to mix the parliamentary system with a presidential system because of what he talks about, question time and all that, which is normally in a parliamentary system. So I think that idea needed to be fleshed out more, but maybe he just talked about what he thinks about it, and it's something in passing. But at least we know that his government would have brought something radically different. And for me, that's how I saw it. And with tonight, I think later tonight, Dati is going to be speaking in few hours from now on Channels or Arise. So I want to wait for when Dati unleashes his own mind, because that's when he will unleash. So we'll wait for Dati in the new few hours.
All right, thank you. Sure.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Rudolph. Yes, I've watched it now, and I didn't see anything that I didn't expect. I didn't see any, there were no surprises. I've always guessed that this is the way Peter Obi was going to speak. He would have been guided by his lawyers carefully. You could see that, it was something that was scripted, and he read it. Like Sid rightly said, when he was asked questions, he spoke off the cuff, and you got a bit more punch, when he answered questions. So knowing the type of person to be, he wasn't going to lead a revolution or do anything like that or cause chaos. So some of the things I picked up is the fact that he said we're going to have opposition, which hasn't existed in Nigeria for a long time. Now, my 5-6 minutes would be asking rhetorical questions of those who support Tinubu. I don't need answers from them. But you want to ask, would you have an issue with Peter Obi or anyone playing opposition, active opposition? I don't need answers. Like I said, they're rhetorical questions. I know the answers they would give. I can guess. I think having a strong, solid, opposition would only better the lives of Nigerians. If you disagree, then you have a bigger issue than I thought you did. We need opposition, regardless of who's in power. If Peter Obi is in power, I want a strong opposition from APC and PDP to keep him in check. And you can be sure that a lot of obedience, not all, but a lot of obedience would also keep Peter Obi in check. And play opposition. That's the sort of movement that it is. They are coconut head, as they call themselves. He also spoke about the supplementary budget. As the name, there's no gainsaying. The name tells you it's supplementary, like you're taking supplements. Your doctor, when you get to a certain age, will tell you start using omega-6, omega-7, this oil, that oil, or for kids, they'll tell you give them extra this, extra that. So it's to supplement what's already in place. Now, my worry is, like Ndume said, that we have only 7 weeks left in the year. Why is it a hurry? Why is it of utmost importance to add to the fleet of cars that the president's office or the first lady's office have? So you're telling us as Nigerians that as we are today, that's one of the most burning issues that cannot wait for the next budget cycle. That's what you're telling us. We will go and borrow to buy Gucci. That's what we're doing. We're borrowing to wear Gucci and Versace. That's what we're doing. You're broke. You're taking loans from a loan shark to go and beg, as they say, so you can appear cool. And some people would be okay with that because it's my party, it's my man. You have a problem. If you cannot condemn that without caring who is in charge, that's just it. The fact that we're even discussing it makes me think, is it real? Did it actually happen that you're doing such things? The yacht, I can give Tinubu a bit of pass in the sense that he didn't put that there. It was started by Buhari, which is even crazy. And when we were criticizing Buhari at the time, what were they saying to us? You will cry for 8 years. But look at what Buhari was doing. Can you defend that Buhari thought it was a good idea for Nigeria's president, whoever the president is, to have a yacht when your people cannot feed, when your people cannot sleep with 2 eyes closed because of insecurity? But you thought buying a yacht was the next thing to do. And if you said anything about Buhari in the last 8 years, they will come for you. Oh, you will cry. Buhari say make your papa no do well. Those sort of things from grown men, adults, trolling. Peter Obi also said something about the total cost of this cars going to the fleet of the president and the first lady. He said that what is going to cost this supplementary, not the actual budget, because they budgeted for these cars in the actual budget. Go and check. So this supplementary fees is more than what we have allocated for our primary health care in Nigeria. And if you know that primary health care takes care of people more than going to the general hospitals. Most of your immediate health needs are taken care of at the primary health care. So we're spending more on their cars than we spend on our primary health care. Like Obi said, India is about 6 times, 7 times the size of Nigeria in terms of population. Yet we have more child mortality rates. Our babies are dying. We have more dying babies in Nigeria than they have in India. That's why them being 7 times more than us. It doesn't bother some people. They would defend these cars. They would defend with everything they have. They will say you're crying, you're wailing, you're this, you're that. See, let's forget partisan for a second and let's start thinking and reasoning as human beings. How are you better than those who sold people into slavery? How are you, what's the difference? Because all you're thinking of is we win, they lose. You look in the mirror and the people you're saying that they lost are people who look exactly like you. I couldn't care less if it's Peter Obi or whoever. I don't care who rules Nigeria. If Tinubu got there and cut down on cost of governance, I would applaud him. But he got there, they started with the number of ministers. People defended it. These cars, they would defend it. The yacht, they would defend it. What would it take for some people to say, you know what, this is beyond party lines. This is about Nigerians. I hope that one day people would grow past. See, there's nothing wrong with supporting your party. I believe in multi-party system. I love the fact that we've got APC, PDP, LP, whatever, Kwakwansu. I like that. It would only make Nigeria better. But we should be able to say this is wrong. Now, when they asked Peter Obi about these senators and LP guys that took the cars, what I saw in that answer is what I knew. It didn't surprise me, and it was very clever the way he answered it. Now, I know the answer is not what people are expecting, but it will be very foolish of him to say exactly what he thinks. Peter Obi does not control those guys. They are not obedient. They are LP candidates who won. They rode on the Peter Obi movement. Peter Obi probably doesn't know most of them one-on-one. He's probably never met most of them. They rode on the Obi wave. Those guys, I don't know who they are, apart from the popular one in Abuja that sat there at the conference, Ireti Kingibe, if those guys contested under any other party, would they have won? No. They are men and women who have their own mind. They are not different from what we've been dealing with. Let's get that right. A lot of people will ride on UB with, they would win, but they will still act like the other charlatans who will just siphon, the country's accounts. They don't care. Over the next 4 years, what I would expect and hope would happen is Peter Obi would be able to form a group of like-minded people that people will get to know over the next 4 years, and they would have similar ideologies. So that when they get to office, Obi can check them from time to time. Do you think Obi can talk to these people? It's not a military dictatorship. He can't tell them not to. What might have happened if Obi had won this election, or if Obi was, giving his vote, however you want to say, is Obi gets him and he tells them, I'm having 30 ministers because we need to cut costs. And he says, oh, don't buy me cars. The yacht, please get rid of it. Sell it. It was customized. I don't care. Sell it half price. Bring me the rest of the money. If the president is leading that way, he might prick the conscience of one or two of the Labour members to say, if your guy is moving this way, let me toad his line. Akuku rode his wave. But there's nobody there for them to make them think, So these guys are there. They're just like, guy is doing it. How can you tell them, the LP members, LP reps, not to take it? They're not obedient. They would never be. The only way they would have behaved somewhat is if Obi was the president. Otherwise, you're expecting what's not going to happen. So Obi just stopped short saying, these guys are not obedient, or they are who they are. I can't stop them. My power does not reach that level. So I hope that Nigeria wins. I'm never going to wish any president evil so that I can say I told you so. No, I won't wish them evil. I hope. You see, I'm not praying. There's no point. I can't pray for Nigeria to be fine. I only hope that Nigeria wins and Nigerians win. Because if you choose a dodgy doctor who has a dodgy record, who has, all sort of accusations leveled against him, to say this doctor, we think he's done this, or this doctor, this surgeon, yes, he's a senior surgeon, he's the most whatever surgeon, but there are a lot of accusations leveled against him. If you choose him to operate on you, and you tell me to pray for you that it doesn't kill you surgery, what's the point? I can't pray. You might make it, you might not make it. My prayer won't change anything. So I hope Nigeria and Nigerians win during Tinubu's 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, sure. Thank you so much. Janaba, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Minority is still playing out here. I don't know whenever we, the minority, will ever have a chance to be anything, but we will keep on keeping on. And thank you for giving us a voice, especially in this platform. And we will never be discouraged. Thank you, Dr. Rudy, and the fellow panelists. Watch the show. One of the things is that he never mentioned him as a president. He called him chief throughout, which is I think as a politician, he knows better. He should have called him the president since he cannot go forward with anything. Another thing is that most likely, I'm very sure from the speech today, most LP and obedient will not like the way he crafted his statement. Many will like it because to some, he's a perfect human being. He never makes mistake. He did not, it's not aggressive enough, and he cannot, because it's in a glass house, he can't throw stone. He's a politician, and that's what politicians do us. It is us that over boiling on this issue. But then, end of the day, his submission today is very weak. It does not show strength. It does not show anything. He only mentioned to his fan, we are moving from consumption to production, which he never tells how the production is going to work, but it's okay to those who want to hear that. And then the issue of him following, measuring about the international community and the Nigerian people watching him. Is what Tinubu or whatever Tinubu, is Tinubu have a more baggage than Donald Trump? But he does it. So whenever we are saying we are comparing our standard, yet we are not honest about it. So if people choose this is who is going to be our president, then we talk about it. What we are talking about is that let us have a system that work for all of us, that if somebody is given a chance for 4 years and if that person do not play by the rule or do not deliver for the people, he can be removed through our voting system and not one-man show that will ruin the election. That's what we are asking for. Peter Obi, most likely, take it or not, he will never be a president of Nigeria. What he says today, I promise you, you will watch it in the next 2027. I said it during this rally that my blood pressure beating so fast on this show, because you guys do not understand that people watches this and people know, they know themselves. So I pray that all the obedient and many of us, all the Nigerian wishes, we can come together and look for candidates that will serve our purpose. Peter Obi is not the one. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Janaba. Who is raising hands? Prince.
Yeah, just good morning, guys. I've been backstage for a long time, so coming on, and I'm just about to get off work. However, before I get on the road, I just wanted to make my submission. Pretty much, I heard some people talk about, how disappointed they are with Obi's speech and all that kind of a thing. The thing I keep saying is this: we all can never have same, expectation. Mr. A's expectation is different from Mr. B's expectation, but at the end, this whole thing, it's all about knowing the right words and knowing the right action to take at every given time. My brother, I don't know, I kind of didn't grab his name. He spoke well because he's, he made the right, decisions, in the sense that are people expecting him to say, oh, since we followed the law, the judicial part, and he failed, okay, we're going to go on the streets and we're going to start protesting. At the end of the day, it's not, let's remember this is not about Obi. This is about Nigeria and the citizens of Nigeria. If they're going to sit down in the house, the same man that volunteered himself, brought himself out, and I wonder what probably he must have been going through with his, his wife. We all married. We all know how marriage works. I bet you that the wife must have been telling him, you will kill yourself, or you will kill yourself, get out of this, or you will kill me. It happens. And who among us is willing to sacrifice their marriage for something that might not even come true? At the end of the day, they die in it. A typical example is Abiola. In as much as Abiola is not, I'm not gonna say he's pure, but I knew when that man ran for, for presidency, and I knew what went on during the election because I was there, I witnessed it, I saw things that happened. And what happened? Just for his election to be annulled, and then even when he tried to make certain statement, they took it that he is, he's going against Nigeria, and then they placed him under colony. And what next? He was in prison, and what next? We all know the story. So what I'm saying in essence is that we are all adults. He has said what he said. And thank God he said what he said. Because at the end of the day, believe in me, these guys are waiting for him. They're just waiting for one thing, for him to say one thing. And it will be gone. They have this is a particular, they have all the powers. They got their military, they got their police, they got their paramilitary and everything in their hands. So who will now come and who will come and help Obi? Is it Obasanjo? That I'm even thinking for them not to have gone against Obasanjo is because they feel that at this stage they don't really have to. But watch, in time to come, they might make that move. It's a state capture. If any of us do not understand how state capture works, I bet you probably we don't know much then. And at the end of the day, John Abai, when you say Peter B will never be president, please, you are not God. I'm not saying all that just because of anything. You are not God. That he's not president, he's not president. But did he win the election? Yes, he won the election. And I repeat, for those trollers in the comment section that will start trolling right now, Tinubu is still not my president. Sorry.
All right. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's go to Mazi TA. Then we'll come down. So Oti will come through.
Sorry. Is he going
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Damages. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you look at a leader, because when I looked at the script you just played now, it's totally flat, to be honest. If you go to, at the moment now, in Myanmar, the leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, yeah, I remember about time when she was first locked up, she went on hunger strike. You know what I'm saying? See, a leader is someone that you should be able to follow. I'm an Awoist to the core. I'll never deny that. I remember when Awo was the leader of the Western region. Jack on the every one of them have to fall into line. That is what you see in quality of a leader. You understand? A leader must have a goal setting, the ability to set goals. When it comes to, look, this is what we're going to do, and the people will follow. Concerning decision making, a leader must have that. Communication wise, bringing people together. Not try to use religious beat and try to mingle people. Now, a lot of things is not open. We're waiting for 2027. Any pastors, most of those pastors now, they've been dealt with, where they come out giving out prophecies. You understand? Prophecies that never come true. A lot of people that cannot see between the line now. A leader must have a problem-solving skills. When the Labour Party was going into disarray, a leader must be able to bridge the gap together, not to talk of the country. One thing we need to know is that when we're talking about Nigeria, it's not only southern part of Nigeria or western part of Nigeria. You have the northern people as well, which they believe that, look, this is their own ideology. And that's how we always believe in restructuring. Let's go back to the 60s. No matter, see, Obi had the chance to turn things around. Imagine if Anambra became the full basket of Nigeria. A lot of people would depend on it. You see some people from the north saying that, look, they'll not be bringing food to the south. To hell with them. You understand? So what I believe, I'm not going to stay too long on it because everything is going in a cycle, back and forth. You understand? You need a leader that could, bring people together, be you're a Muslim or you're a Christian or you're a traditionalist. Bridging people together. When Awolowo was the pioneer of the Western state then, they did talk about religion. You have Muslims there, you have Christians there, you have the traditionalists there. I hear some people on this show, they say, oh, I've lived in Lagos for 40-something years. Some will say, I've lived, then a lot of the Western regions was thriving, Eastern was thriving. So I believe in restructuring. And I hope Tinubu will listen. So now, a lot of people are blaming John Abai, because he said the truth. That's the way he says things. That's the way the country is run. The elite doesn't know you. And that's why I keep on campaigning that, look, go along with Showore. Dr. Damaji has worked with Showore before. Was he treated that he's from the east or from the south? No. The guy is fair. But the major thing is that Nigerians are hypocrites. If you are a leader, first of all, say, look, for Nigeria, if you don't do this thing, I'm going to go on hunger strike. Let's start with that. Showore has nothing to lose. He went all the way from the west back to Nigeria. He was jailed. He's an activist. The people that turned India around, yeah, he went on hunger strike. So you want, if Obedient wants us to move on the street, tell him to bring his family in front. Then we'll follow. You just, when you come here, you just start. I remember back then anyway, because OP is the prodigy of what's his name? Ojukwu. When the going was when everything was going tough, Ojukwu left. Millions of people were killed. He left. A captain never leaves the ship. You die with the ship. That's the way it is. If you're a leader, you die with the ship.
Sorry, must we continue to listen to this guy? The Damages?
Say, I see.
Dr. Damages, please can't see numbers like this. Please. He should leave Ojukwu out of this. TA do not bring Ojukwu into this.
He's not your president. What did you do?
That's what you are.
Come on. Yeah, you hypocrites.
Sorry.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Please,
let me run up to do that.
The way we operate here is we are not going to let him finish, and then when you get your chance, you can respond to him.
Exactly. It's not. It doesn't have to be only you.
If we talk now, we run away. That's why. Let him wait there. He should not go away.
No, talking. I've got some. I can wait for, because CM said he wants to ask me a question. I can wait for CM's question when I finish.
We ask you a question too.
But then I leave. So look, let me tell you one thing. Yeah, either you like it or not, there are millions of people in the north. It's not only you guys. We need to work together. Work together as one. You're always clamoring.
Yeah, so who is he addressing? Who is he talking to?
Wait.
Jargons.
I might be saying jargons here, but listen, it is my own point of view. Either you like it or not. You understand?
You want Obi to be in prison. That's your goal.
Thank you.
I don't say. Listen, I don't want Obi to be in prison. But what I'm saying is that
Doctor is my turn. Emiloko.
Yeah. Listen.
Emiloko.
So on a final note, Mr. Let me just quickly, because I know if you say anything against Obi, definitely you are the enemy of the state. And I don't give a damn. That's what I'm telling you. I don't give a damn. If you want to lead revolution, go to Nigeria and lead the revolution. So let me submit. Yeah. So the way I see things, yeah. Tinubu is the Moses of the time. Yeah. So either you like it or not. I remember when Moses was going to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. You understand? Majority doesn't like Moses, but that's God's will. And Showore, is the Jonathan. Yeah. No, is it no, sorry.
You are confused. Take a breath. You are confused.
Let's go to Ade. Ade, go ahead.
It doesn't matter anyway. I rest my
Doctor,
I'm here.
Thank you, Doctor.
You don't want, am I not supposed to talk?
Like I said, when we started on this, I said,
no.
Excuse me.
Please. Go ahead, Ade.
Well, the question I posed the other time, even before you played Peter Obi's conference, was that, is it going to be Peter Obi's opposition or Labour Party's opposition? Is it Labour Party that is going to lead the opposition or Peter Obi? And I went and I talked about the issue of the SUV. I didn't even know that they asked that question before I mentioned that. It is obvious to us that all the guys who could not get a ticket in other parties, most of them are the ones that came to Labour Party to come and pick up ticket. It's not necessarily that they are actually obedient or they are people who meant well for Nigeria, because you cannot tell me that you meant well for Nigeria and you get to the Senate or House of Rep elected on the platform of Labour Party, knowing what that party or movement wants to actualize, then you get to the house, then you are talking about SUV of 160 million. Then Peter Obi in his speech is now defending that, oh, it's going to be an official car and all of that. Is there any forum where he meets with those people and they discuss on, this is the role of opposition and this is what we want to do? Any Greek gift that is given there, we are not going to take it. We want to fix Nigeria. But it is obvious that these people are not interested. Peter Obi is just one person. In Anambra State, he mentioned, he said they brought 2 bulletproof cars worth several millions of naira. And he said, no, we are not going to use this. That was what those people are supposed to do. That is what he is supposed to tell them. Over here in America, we see leader McConnell. Even now that he is no longer the majority speaker, they have an agenda. The opposition will have an agenda. This is where we are pulling through. We are pulling together. And they make sure, no matter how good that thing is that the Democrats may want to introduce, if the Republicans bind together and they say, no, we are not going that way, they will stand there together. They have not been able to remove a fraudster like the president of Nigeria now in House of Rep, Santos. They have not been able to remove him because the Republican Party, they are keeping together saying that we need this guy because of their number, not because they didn't know that he is a fraudster. And that is what we need that Labour Party opposition for. Peter Obi is just one person. And the guys in Labour who have been elected on Labour Party's platform, we can now see that they are not reformers. They are not even interested. And we need Peter Obi to pull away from somebody like Alhaji Atiku. He's not his older brother. He's not his Oga. He's not his Peter Obi is not his boy. The best form of defense is to attack. Now it is obvious that people like Atiku should be going away, and Peter Obi should not be seen around somebody like Atiku. Take the fight to them. It should be offensive to make people pull away from those type of people. We need him to stand there now and make these people begin to destroy them. Begin to ask Tinubu questions. Before Tinubu, more than 15, 20 years ago, Tinubu have been talking about fiscal federalism. We no longer hear about it again. Those are the questions the opposition, Peter Obi, should be putting to all these people. And let's forget about election, that is gone. But if you look at, Tinubu is already planning for the next election. He's already appointing people, his own people, members of their party, into INEC. And that is what the things that we want to talk about. That is the things that the opposition, Peter Obi, should be talking. I'm not interested in whether it is this man from the east or we just need a better Nigeria. And if Peter Obi wants to be president of Nigeria, I think John Abba went overboard by saying Peter Obi will never become president of Nigeria. That is absurd. If Peter Obi will be able to stand his ground, these people are not playing with him. Let him not play with them. Take the fight to them. Go offensive. This is his time. You can imagine somebody that got about 3 or 4 months to election and he was able to do what he did. Come on. He got 4 years now. Or he got 3 years. Now, this is the time he has to do the work and stop this soft-talking gentleman. This politics is not for gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
Dr. Damages, I believe in.
Especially the Nigerian type of politics.
No, hold on, don't leave it yet. So
I just have 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, yeah.
Please. So let me ask him his question, please. Let me ask him his question, please.
Most of our time.
Yeah.
I said I have to.
So
I said I have 2 questions.
Joshua, in line to come. Okay, go on.
I said I had two questions, one for Ade, one for TA. So for Ade, when you started, you said the Labour Party chairman in Lagos and Kano. What I want to ask you is,
No. I was saying that they should make sure. I didn't say that. I didn't say they are. I said they should make sure that people who will become chairman in those places should be their indigenes, who will be on ground, who knows everywhere, the politicians to talk to. That's what I didn't say they are. I didn't say they are.
So anyway, it's for Labour Party to decide who they appoint. So let me excuse you on that. Then TA, today is since we last encountered each other here. I want to ask you a question, which others can bear witness. You said you suggested Ndi Igbo should contribute $5 billion and give to federal government and tell federal government, take this money, leave us, let us go our way. Now, the question I want to ask you, the question is on tape. This is the question. The question now is, was that asking Ndi Igbo to contribute $5 billion and give federal government so that federal government can leave them to say you can go? Was that meant to be a one-off insult, or do you still insist on it at 20 minutes past 4, 6th of November in the year of our Lord 2023?
Okay, now let me answer your question.
I mean, insult to Ndi Igbo. That's what I'm saying.
Biko.
Insult to Ndi. Listen, don't teach me my language. Insult to Ndi Igbo. That's what I'm saying.
You see my name, Mazi.
Exactly.
Mazi TA. Biko. Now listen to me. Now, what I said back then, I said that look at UAE. That what happened there? It was a desert, in Dubai. They turn things around. That place doesn't know whatever origin you come from. In as much as business as usual. It could be Igbo, you could be Yoruba, you could be Hausa. Atiku has a penthouse there. You understand? It doesn't know where you come from. And I said, look, why not bring that kind of idea to the eastern part region? Develop that place. Turn it to mini Dubai. I said, look, I will be going there to shop. And that's what I said. And I said another thing I said, backing that up. Listen.
Rudolph, you because on my honor. Let me finish,
Come on.
$1,000. Look for the video.
Look for the video. Rudolph. $1,000. Look for the video. You're a liar. I call you a liar on air. You're a liar.
CM, hold on. Hey guys, hold on. First of all, nobody is giving me assignment to go and look for the video. You guys can find it, send it to me, and then I'll play it. So please, not.
Okay, let me finish because you asked a question. Let me finish quickly.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. So I will let you finish. Tia will finish, and then at CM you can respond. But I want Oti to also get a chance to speak, so it's not just two of you. So Tia, go ahead.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying. Now look, imagine you give the federal government $5 billion, $5 billion dollars, to develop the country. That's what I said. I didn't say for you guys to be free. That's what I'm saying. That look, whatever you do,
insult. Take it back. Take that word back.
I ain't gonna take that back. Hell no. What do you mean? Come on, listen, guys. It's my prerogative. I'm an individual. Whatever I like, I say. And that's why I see things.
What tribe are you?
You can't shut me down.
What tribe are you?
Hell no, you can't shut me down.
Henry, please. I don't want to remove you, but I may have to. Please stop.
Come on.
Let him finish.
See, now, so back to what I was saying, that look, all these things that CM will come here and start using propaganda, that they're burning, what's it called? They're burning Alaba Market. They're doing this, they're doing that. It's not even fair on the people living in Lagos, because what you're saying is wrong. And it's when you look at what the Lagos State government is doing, you see that they're on the right track. Tell me a time now where Alex Oti was going around, he saw people with 80 heads, human head. Did you talk about it? You come and start spilling nonsense.
All right, thank you, Tia.
Thank you, Damages.
I'll just
Can I go? Can I go now?
Please.
No, hold on.
Please.
I'll respond to you.
Please.
And that's
Okay,
it.
yeah.
And we'll go to it. Yeah,
Please.
go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Please.
Listen.
No.
I am. Please.
Okay, yes.
I want people to listen. I want people to listen to what I have to say and record it. TA, I'm calling you a bloody liar on air. What you said was, why can't Ndibo contribute $5 billion, give to federal government, and tell them, take, leave us, let us go? That's what you said. Why are you lying? You're a bloody liar.
If you said that,
you see what I'm saying?
So that's why. Listen. Let me tell you. It's my turn now to speak. Listen.
Okay, talk.
When you say such unintelligent rubbish.
So you're the one intelligent here.
Listen. When you say, listen. I don't look, because I've called you a bloody liar. People can bear me witness. I'm not denying it.
About Lagos.
When you say something like this and you come on air to tell Ndibo contribute $5 billion to give to federal government so that federal government can tell them, oh yeah, if federal government take, leave us, let us go. Even the white hair under your chin, only God knows how white the one in your private part will be. You're a bloody liar. An old liar you are.
No, listen.
I insult.
That's
you
it.
See someone.
Next thing is I'll take everybody out. That's it. OT, you're next. So what I'm saying.
Can I go now?
Yeah, you can go. What I'm
okay.
For CM, so, find me the tape. I want to hear that and play that if it's so. It's easy, but I don't even know the episode. I don't know what week or that happened or when. But you can help me by finding it and send to me. I'll play. All right.
So, Dr. Damages, thank you.
Just Rudolph.
Thank you.
Rudolph.
CM, listen, man. I'm just talking to Dr. Damages now. Listen. You might call yourself a liar. I don't give a damn.
You can leave now. Damages,
I just want to say thank you for giving me the audience. And I'll see you guys later. You understand? Right. So if you guys want to come for me, I've got the body to take it, man. Peace. I'm out.
All right, Tia. Thank you.
Thank you.
When we come back to you, we'll hear more from you. Okay, go ahead, Oti.
Okay. Hi.
For me to do it very well.
Sorry. CM. Let me give you a brotherly advice. Try not.
Please, Rudolph. What I want from you is give me. Hold on. Give me the link, Rudolph. Give me the link of all your broadcasts for the past 6 weeks, so that I go through them one after the other and I bring it out. This is what I need from you. Give me the link.
They're all on YouTube.
Okay, so that I go according to the date. I will do it. It's a research. I'm good at research. I will do it and bring it and tell you the one that contains it, so that you play it. This guy is the biggest liar ever created by man. Coming here to lie to me.
The Supreme Court may not look at it, so just don't stress yourself so much. The Supreme Court may not look at those evidence.
Tim, I'll send you the links. I'll send you where you find all the links. Okay, Oti, go ahead.
Sorry, what I was saying, CM. Look, dealing with people like TA and Zijana Abbas, you don't have to walk yourself out.
Audrey, I'm not taking words from you. Dr. Damages, please, I'm about to get into a self-driving car. Do not take me off, please. I'm about to get into a Tesla. If you want me to show you, I will show you. It's a self-driving car on its own. Please.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So what I'm saying is this: listening to this guy, I don't know. One has to have the patience of an angel, now, because I don't know where they're coming from. Now, okay, he's a leader. Most of our time is in power. He's not saying anything about what he's doing, about uniting the country, moving the country forward. It's just, caricaturing, blaming a man that just ran for presidency, right? So where do you begin to have a conversation? Now, he wants to brand him an ethnic bigot, a religious bigot. And meanwhile, his leader, the Muslims of our time, have what they call Muslim ticket. A country that's supposed to be a kind of, respect the diversity of the country. I mean, no complaint. No, it hasn't done anything wrong. It's not going about uniting the country. No complaint. And he comes here, and then really he wants us to take him seriously, to listen to him. But I don't know. And then John Abbas himself, that somebody should not, cannot be the president of the country. I mean, on what basis? So really, I don't know. Well, it's just kind of have you say, it's just we have to respect it. That is the name of the game. But some of these people, quite frankly, they're not supposed to be speaking in public, because they really is they're abusing everybody. I mean, so that's the only way I can characterize that. It's not they're not saying anything. They're not educating. It's just misinformation and abuse and riling people up. It doesn't help in any way the conversation. But anyway, let me what with Peter Obi's well, of course I've listened to it. Right. Okay, they say it's flat, right, in a way, but I didn't expect, I mean, what are you to expect? Now, for me, the thing is this. This is our country, okay? He's one person. He came out as a leader, campaigned, for a presidency. But all of us, all Nigerians, those of us in abroad and back home, we are citizens, right? It's our country. So why should we be sitting, on our backside, waiting for somebody to lead a revolution? Right. So anybody, okay, how about the civil societies? How about student unions? How about you and I? This format is not old enough to be a leader, to lead a revolution. Okay? So pointing the finger, looking up to somebody, waiting for him, Mr. Peter Obi, to march in front with his, I don't know. Come on. We have to be serious and sincere. If we're happy with the way the country is going, that's fine. You don't have to wait for anybody. What? Civil society, civil disobedience, labor, yes. And if we want to, and that's, if you ask me, that's really what the country, deserves. A kind of resistance, because an illegitimate regime. So civil disobedience, we don't have to wait for somebody who campaigned for an office to lead that. Anybody, any person, that has the courage, that has, okay, for those criticizing somebody, I mean, his speech is flat. He doesn't have the courage. He doesn't have the spirit. So what about you? Oh, okay. And now, so that's the way I look at it. I mean, there's no point, he has his path, he has his life, he has his vision, his ambition. Okay, he's doing what he is, he believes he can do. Right. So don't expect more from him. Right. So I don't know. And it's that's the way I look at it. Really. And so I think we sit around here and talk too much, and the people come here and that's all sorts of things. I don't know. I don't know. It's it beggars belief.
Thank you, Oti. Thank you so much. Let's now go to Judah. I think you've read a view on this, I think. Let me go to Henry. Henry.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Rudolph. Please give me some time, please. Huh? So as I was saying, what do we expect Peter Obi to be? Peter Obi is Peter Obi. They should know one thing. We obedient, we are not Labour Party. Labour Party is just the platform. Everybody who wants changes in that country, we stand with Peter Obi and make sure we have changes. We have change in that country. Not by we saying Obi didn't do this, we didn't do that. I can remember during Abiola time, when Abiola went out to exile, the so-called Moses of their time was in exile too. The same people, the same tribe, persuade Abiola to come back to Nigeria. He came to Nigeria, they put him in prison, they lock him up, he died. And the same Abiola of your time came to be ring election, fraudulent election, fraudulent certificate, because you're president and it's Abiola of your time, Moses of your time. And this same person who said the leader is he not holding enough to be a leader? What is he doing there? Why don't go back to Nigeria and do something? Where will be stop? Let's start from there. Sometimes they come in the public space to talk jargons. They don't even think before they speak. How can somebody like him open his mouth to call to ask Idi Igbo to give $5 billion to Nigeria government to allow them to go? And some of you who see Igbo here will say, people should not react. I'm not an Igbo man, but that is an insult. I'm a pure Benin man. Nobody will say that to my tribe. When somebody come here and call other people minority, I know how I react. Because we are nobody's minority. If you please yourself to be a minority, less for you. Don't call other people minority. And some like this, what they call him, Haba. Sometimes I don't know if he have. Sometimes think before he speak. What is he doing? He came up. He's from Benue State. What is he doing to help his people? He should be on ground to fight for his people. He's telling people here, Obi did not do enough. He's too soft. He didn't do enough. What about you? What are you doing with your people? Obi is a billionaire. He can still call. You know what? Nigeria should get the F off. I don't care. But he came. He sacrificed himself, bring himself out to the people. But you think come here to criticize him the way he speak? He didn't take. What about you? Your own country, your state. They killing them every day. What are you doing? Why you not be on ground? Like Obi went on ground to campaign for Nigeria, to better Nigeria. Are you not man enough to stand up as a leader to your people? You come just because you have a free Wi-Fi or whatever you have, you come on here and criticize other people who have the guts, who have the balls to be on ground, to challenge the corruption that's going on. You're not man enough to go to your own village, to go and do something, stand there, come out for your people. Say it's enough for the killing. You should be man enough. Don't criticize people who sacrifice their life. Obi risk his life. You don't know that? He risked his life to come out there. He's a billionaire. You don't need Nigeria either. If you say, okay, you know what? Let me go back to UK, live life there, he will stay. But he sacrificed himself for the people. And we supported his mission because we too want better Nigeria. I've seen the man obedient. If he come out tomorrow, he want to be president, I will be there for him because he have a good intention for Nigeria. But you are criticizing him. What have you done in your village? You move your butt and go in your village and speak for your people and stomp here and stop ranting. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Henry. Okay. So let me see. Prince Mazi, I think you're next. Now go.
You say what?
You're next. Oh, you don't have anything.
Oh, okay. Good. Thank you.
You're in a
Thank you.
car.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Just a second. You got it, right? Okay. So, like I was saying, people like TA, I just agree totally with what Henry, talked about. This thing is this. They come online and they say all sorts of things, that kind of a thing. In as much as, yes, everyone is free to, air their opinion, but sometimes they should stop gaslighting other people, other tribes. I've said it time with that number. I am from Delta State, but I was born in Anambra State and grew up at Enugu.
Hold on, are you the one playing music? If you are the one playing music.
Okay, let me.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it better? So pretty much I grew up at Enugu. By virtue of rights, if it's here, it will be regarded as I am a citizen of Anambra and all that. Now, the thing is this. When I said John Abba is not God, Obi is not desperate. Get it? He's not desperate. If he doesn't get, if since that he's not the president, Obi is still feeding fine. He got family, and I totally agree with where he's going. I wouldn't give up my family because I want to save Nigeria. Tomorrow, those people who are clamoring for him to say something otherwise are gonna be the ones hiding behind. Sure, I liked him from beginning, but where I disagree, I kind of knew the kind of person he was when I started seeing his shenanigans. Okay, when I started seeing his shenanigans, First, he was among the people who clamored for Jonathan to be gone. Jonathan wasn't the best, but I preferred him over Buhari, you know. And then I also saw him when he was there was something he was doing with Amechi and of which, you know, he was saying something, and then all of a sudden the video was cut off. What happened next, we did not know, and nothing was ever followed up. Nobody ever said anything. Nothing ever came out of it.
Mazi, Prince, can you send me this video you're talking about? You've said it several times now. I want to see what you're talking about. Can you find it and send to me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my Wi-Fi was changing. That was why it was just like that. You know. So, like I was saying, the whole thing is this: you know, a man when in good times they stand with you, and in bad time they stand with you. Showore is, you know, almost my age mate. So I don't see anything different that Showore can do that I myself will not be able to come to Nigeria and do. But if I come today, none of you is just because since I've not been an activist or whatever, none of those decent people will support me. That's why the fact that I am coming with a clear conscience that I'm coming to do something good, none of them will support me. But they will stand there and want to tell us what they want Obi to do or Obi not to do. And then at the end of the day, they want to use that to gaslight a tribe. Talking about Ojukwu. Ojukwu is, Ojukwu is a respected man. He's dead, he's dead. And let him rest in peace. They should take that out of their mouth.
All right.
That's all I can say for now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Jonaba, I see that you're back. Okay, let's go to Jude. Jude first.
No, can I respond? I just come to the office.
Yeah. No, it's my turn, Mr. Jonaba. Okay. You see, there is something I want to say regarding opposition. The fact that a party or a group of people, they are opposition to a particular, a ruling party or to whatever issue, does not mean that anything and everything they come out and say they are in opposition with, that they must get it. A fowl that cries when the hawk comes to pick his cheek it's not crying because he wants to get it back, but for the whole world to hear and to be on record that yes, I have said this, or I have shown my resentment over what the hawk has done. You see, we have Labour Party has the greatest dynamic and vibrant support group now of all the parties in Nigeria. If, for instance, the time they were deliberating, not just only on that SUV to budget to buy it, or those budget, or even the recent supplemental budget now, candidate that wrote to that office, national listing through the Labour Party, comes out and then have a press conference and say, this is our position regarding this. That we feel that at this point in Nigeria, we don't need this supplemental budget where all these things that are rather supposed to be channeled towards improving the suffering masses of Nigeria and then elevating people from poverty or building our infrastructures or putting it in healthcare. And they refute that we are now standing in opposition as a Labour Party representative. We are saying we are not in support of this. So we want the whole Nigeria to know about this. That is how opposition functions. Not that you will be in a party, you will be in a Congress where they are sharing Nigerian resources among themselves, and you kept mute. And you are telling me, you are coming out to tell us that after all, the SUV is meant for an official car. Now the question is, 4 years ago, did they not buy SUV for those who were there before? What have they done with it? Did they go home with it at the end of the day, at the end of their tenure? What have they done? And if it's still there, why can't the present people use those SUV rather than buy new ones? Huh? Are they better than us? That they should be using $160 million one single car? And we are not talking about the actual cost of buying that car. Can anybody here tell me that for sure that those cars cost exactly 160 million? We all here knows that car, each of those SUVs, it wouldn't even be up to 30% the actual cost of that SUV. But this is the way Nigeria has been set up. This is the way these politicians steal our money. We are not even talking about the corruption. How much they are going to steal from each of those cars, from whoever they're going to ask to purchase it for them. Who knows? Maybe it's even their wives and their concubines. They will give the contract to purchase those SUVs, and then they will have their own kickback. Okay, is it not the way the whole thing is going in Nigeria? I don't know if anybody, any sane mind, will believe that come 4 years, Obi, no matter the kind of cloud he pulls together again, will come and win the election or contest with Tinubu, with the likes of this guy Wike and all the crew he surrounds himself that are all eager to devour Nigeria, will allow Obi to win. Already Tinubu, Wike has already promised Tinubu that come the next election, he already has FTC in his bag, in his bag. Okay, so I don't know. At times I find it hard to imagine that we should just move on and wait till next election and see what miracle will happen. If Tinubu could do all he did when he was not even having the state and the national apparatus, power agencies under his control, how much more now that he has everybody under his control, even the national treasury, he has it to do whatever he wants, to buy anybody he wants to buy. And you tell me you can come and contest with him in the next election? Come on, and let us be sincere with ourselves.
All right, thank you, Jude. I go ahead, Sid.
Thanks. I understand the emotions are high, but Jude, I ask you a simple question. Will you be able to pack up your things in the next 1 week and get down to Abuja and lead an opposition on the streets? The truth is that you may not, or you may, but you may not. But most times, most people will not. So,
but I'm not elected.
It doesn't matter. But you're elected.
I'm talking about those who were elected under the platform of Labour Party that are there now and are keeping quiet, mute, while all these atrocities going on.
Yes, that's fine. I agree with you totally. I don't need it to be an argument. I agree with you with what you're saying. But we must understand that there was a process going on in this election. Everybody was fixated on the issue of the judiciary. Peter Obi and his team were fixated on ensuring that they get to the logical end of these elections. So you cannot now overburden the man and say, oh, he needed to do this, he needed to do this. No, processes happen. He has come down to the logical end. He has ended it. There's no other place from the Supreme Court. Now it will be about creating a viable opposition. And the truth is that even the ruling party knows that PDP is not a strong opposition. The only opposition are what is called the obedience, because those are the only people that are calling out these issues. And the truth is that all these things they are telling us in the budget is just a smoke screen. Oftentimes, Nigerians get involved and emotionally invested in some of these things they show us. Meanwhile, the major things are being done and Nigerians are not seeing it. A lot of these things they put in the budget is just like, to draw from the scent. But people are not asking, are we still paying subsidies? We may likely still be paying massive subsidies. But nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about different kinds of issues that are being raised, especially monetary issues. So now that Peter Obi, if you look at his statement, which is why we came here today, is looking at his statement, he's saying, I'm going to drive an opposition. Everybody has a leadership style that is different. Everyone's leadership style is different, and we have seen it. People say a lot of things, bring out emotions, say they'll come on the streets. When it's that time, most of the leaders are killed. So he needs to be absolutely intelligent that if I've been able to build in 4 months an opposition that shook Nigeria and got 6 million votes according to them, then I should be able to have the next 3 years to build opposition on every issue of government, to have a stand on every issue of government. So it is left for Nigerians that feel that we need a better government to join that voice, to be behind that voice and say, we need to have a front, because the truth is that PDP is in a big problem. PDP doesn't know who leads them the next 3 years. And that's a fundamental problem, but it's also a big gap in the political space, meaning that we don't want to get into a space where we have a one-party state. No matter all our shouts here, it is heading towards a one-party state. And we need somebody that already has a clout. Look, yes, we may love Shuare, we may love all his antecedents and all that, but the truth is that sometimes it is not in your call. Sometimes the people did not follow you, they did not resonate with you. And Shuare needs to get to that space where he must realize that he expected the Obi phenomenon to be the Shuare phenomenon. But God did not want it that way. The people resonated with Peter Obi. He had a volume of work and a volume of track record. And I think he has placed it very well in his statement that he's going to lead an opposition. He's going to get people, they'll be having their voices, they will speak on issues, and he wants to drive the issues. If you notice in the elections, he drove the issues. He made sure that the political parties came to the issues that he was bringing out, and everybody, it was not all these shambolic things we're seeing. So he's going to drive an opposition, and for me, I want to see how he drives this new opposition. I want to see the intelligence he brings to pushing an opposition, and then seeing how the diaspora begins to move with that level of opposition. And I think it's something that we should congratulate that man for. You get me? Something we should congratulate the man for. We may not like him because he's this, and there's a lot of bigotry going on here. I saw John Abba and TA, a lot of spewing a lot of bigotry that is really, really unnecessary. You can't just come out, and I can't just come out and say, oh, John Abba, you will never be this. No, it's wrong. Because number one, I'm not God. You are not God. You don't have the latitude of what an individual can be or cannot be. There's how to communicate, especially when you're in public. So oftentimes, and that is the biggest problem, and a lot of times is because Nigerians have never experienced the Rwandan experience. We saw it from afar, where these kinds of things generated a genocide and caused havoc in the nation. So we must sometimes learn to peel back. Yes, we most people expected this outcome. Some people did not expect the outcome, but we are here. So we need to now begin to say, how do we move as a nation? That's number one. How do we look within what we have been given and press through to see whether we can gain advantage? The truth is this: the elections in the next 4 years, I don't trust it. I remember I'll just end with this. I remember before the elections, we had a have your say like this on the eve of the election. And Rudolph asked a question for our final statement. I said, based on what I see, Obi should win the elections. But there's going to be a big problem. The only moving box in this is INEC. If INEC shows up and does what they need to do, then we should see a good election. But if INEC doesn't show up, which is part of their track record, then we'll see anarchy in the nation. And I was proved right. So we need to now think of what is happening. We're busy chasing the jeeps, but Tinubu is moving his men into 2027. He's already thinking of hijacking the political space. And Nigerians should start looking at that, not even about the jeeps. The jeeps are elementary to what he's about to do. So Nigerians must think differently and say, okay, we now know that 25% it's already out of the way. We now realize that it is not mandatory for INEC to put anything on IREF. We now know it. We should look at those outcomes and say, okay, how do we counter this political behemoth that is coming? Because the Tinubu behemoth is completely different from the Buhari. Buhari is very indifferent, but Tinubu is complete grassroots politician. And so if he's a complete grassroots politician, he works ahead of time. And now he has the instrumentality of state. And if he has the instrumentality of state, both economic and the military, then he begins to decide it. And where you need to watch this out is in the next coming elections, Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa. That's where you see his chessboard move. So Nigerians should not be enamored. I know these issues of the senators and all that, but we should allow the Labour Party come out from what they have just come out and then find a position, because they are not the only opposition. PDP is in that house. PDP has members and they have the larger members, but they are part and parcel of APC. So, and in this season, they will start moving towards APC because that's what Tinubu will expect them to do. So that is what we need to see, and see those people that are Labour, and then Obi starts fashioning out a mandate for the opposition. That's what I need to say now.
All right, thank you. Let's hear from General.
Thank you all you guys for trying to explain yourself. Democracy is a free will when someone can say whatever they want to say without those eloquent people who have no strategies, have no understanding how things work. Nigeria never lack education. They never lack people who can speak eloquently. They lack people who have no free will to do the right thing. And you can come here and call what I said. Over and over, everything I've said to you guys here have come to pass. I'm not God. When you say that, Obi will win the election, but it may not be given, on what basis that you say that? Are you God to say that? But you say that because you have understanding of what is going on. Well, it's quick for every Nigerian not to understand that the power that been can neither be confronted or you compromised. So if someone is going to come and trying to find a fine line to walk that does not exist, it's either you confront the system and you are a complete opposition, and then you stay there. You cannot stay in a glass house and throw stone. Obi is a politician, and that's what politician does, and that is what he's doing. I'm not against him from being a politician and do what politician does, but somehow you give him a pass, and you even call him a perfect human being. Are you a perfect person? So why do you think that what you are not, somebody else is? But that
Nobody
is
called him a perfect person.
That people have called him. If you are not one, there are a lot of people here, and you can go and play it back. So I'm not going to lie. So the issue is that let us
name them. Name
no,
one of them.
you go
name
and
one
watch
of
it.
them.
If you go watch it,
If some people are calling him perfect, that doesn't mean everyone is calling him perfect.
okay,
You don't
but at least
generalize.
somebody called, right? So the point is that the way forward for Nigeria, for you and I think we should have one understanding that we all want Nigeria to work for all of us. If that is the truth, and that is the belief, that you as an individual may have your different part to what you call Nigerian working for us. But politicians, whatever is in their best interest. And some people here, oh, he's not in control of the LP that have been voted to the House, so he cannot he have nothing to do. That's not true. That's disingenuous. You cannot change them, but you can speak to it. I cannot change him. I cannot change Tinubu. I cannot change anybody, but I can speak truth to it, and that is what is expected of you. And when you guys come to what is going on in Benue, you quickly say what is going on in Benue. A lot is going on in your own place as well. The issue is that we have different problems to confront in Nigerian space, and let us stick to the matters and let us address it with heart of humanity, not about you coming to say, oh, it's okay for you. I respect all of you that say, oh, I'm a big follower, I'm obedient, I'm a LP, and I told you I am not. Why can't you respect me for who I am? You want to bull me to who you want to be, and you stay in your apartment in Germany or wherever you stay, and you never even voted in the first place. You go down, you are sending somebody to invite everyone. Let all of us meet in Murtala Mohammed Airport in Nigeria. Let's have a time and a date. Let us all of us meet, so that we all can go and fight for that country we all believe in. Not stay in your comfort zone and incite violence that you cannot you cannot go there. Peter Obi never sleep outside his comfort zone all his life. We are talking, you comparing Peter Obi with Sowore, it's an insult. Sowore have been locked up over and over. Some of you even compare him that he is better than Nelson Mandela, a man that was locked up for 27 years, somebody that contested one election. How many times did Buhari contest for election? Go and ask. Did they not go crazy? Did the whole his supporter burn the house down? What are we talking about? We have made a significant progress.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yes,
We have made a significant progress.
There are a lot of facts about when they did that. They did that. You need to say
Can I
things
finish my
correctly.
thought?
Yes, they did.
I didn't.
Mr. Eba, please, can you correct that? Can you retract that?
Yes,
because we know how many thousands of, especially Igbo people and so many people in the north that died when Buhari lost election the other time.
Okay.
And how many
I'm
houses,
talking
churches,
about
so many
Buhari.
places that were
Listen
burned.
to me. Let me finish my speech.
Yes,
I'm
in
not going to
Buhari's
correct
time,
anything. You
people
cannot
died.
pull me to correct
So
anything.
please
Go and do your
correct
own
it.
research. The issue is that let us be patient. Peter Obi have started the movement. He may, like I said it, I'm going back, go write it down on your wall. I don't care. It's going to come to pass. Peter Obi have started a good movement. Let us build on it. Democracy is not one day issue. The correct one. Even in America, we still don't have a perfect election. There is irregularity here and there. But we will get there with the willing of the people, not a flip-flopper, not a genuine fascist who can come out and say anything without any substance to back it up. Let us stay away from such things that ignite our society to fight each other. I don't think we like what is going on between the Palestinians and the Israelites right now. So let us not incite all those things, because you can stay in your apartment, have
We have
light, and
enough
have
in
a
the
Wi-Fi.
north, in the east. We don't need Palestinian issue here. We have enough in the east.
There's that. Okay, so whatever.
Please, I have a question for Janaba.
Thank
Please,
you.
can I ask you?
Yes,
Can I ask you?
yes, sir.
Mr. Janaba, please, you just compare, because I hate when people compare Nigeria to democracy with American democracy to buttress their point and to say that they are not perfect. There's just no comparison. Now, my question is, since you have been in America, how many elections that America has had that 2 or 3 people died in an election? That is number one. And then how many elections have you had in America that a particular group came out and begin to drive a particular group of people and say, do not come out if you are not going to vote for PDP, PDP or no, not PDP. What is the party here? I say you are not going to vote for any of the parties. Republican and Democrat, yes. How many times has it ever happened? And then you talk about the irregularity in a election here. Please, could you mention the irregularity in the election in America? Because I equally live here, and I follow every bit of the thing that goes on here. Mention the irregularity, please.
So you want to say there was never in your time in America that there is irregularity? There was even a time of let's
use the last election.
I'm trying
The last
to
election.
Can I finish?
The last election.
It doesn't have to be last election.
There was no
Because
killing
they're
there.
working
No
every day,
shooting.
they try to make things
Okay,
better.
between the
But Nigeria
Florida
make
case
things
during George
worse.
Bush, listen to me. Even in the past election, there are people that are facing jail time for voting twice. So there is issue of irregularity. But then
And so
we
what
can
is that? Is that not a good thing?
It's a good thing. That's all I
If it
said.
were to
That
be,
it's
no,
not a
for
perfect
instance now, if
system.
it were to be in
Listen
America
to me.
here,
I said we cannot. It's not a perfect system, right? But we can work towards the
Jesus.
perfection. And then when you come to talk about the issue of nobody died, somebody died, are we in 21st century? Do you really want someone to die because you go and vote? And I condemn profoundly whatever
I'm using that
listen
to
to
tell you that
me.
there is no
Can I
basis for
finish?
comparing
Can I
Nigerian
finish?
election with America
Can
at
I
all.
finish? Can I finish? Okay, can I finish? I condemn any human being that oppress any individual or certain group of people or any tribe from not carrying out their voting franchise, freely to go to the voting booth and vote whosoever they want to vote it for. I condemn it, whether it happened in Lagos, whether it happened in Kano, whether it happened in Borno State, whether it happened in Enugu. I condemn it. I'm not for it. I want everybody to vote freely without being intimidated. But the issue is that you guys are contradicting is that you are the one thinking that one person has to get a pass or 100% and the other person has to be put in jail. But they are all politicians which have a different record, and we can say of that. But the notion is that if I'm not an LP and you want to bull me or want me to compromise or want me to say somebody is perfect, well, I'm not ready to say that person is perfect. You want me to force me to say it's a fascist. And that shouldn't be. I have the right, I have a basic human right to vote for whosoever I want to vote for and to speak on any issue that I want to speak for. If you say, okay, what was my general assessment of what has gone down? Then I can tell you that, okay, this is my assessment, but then, end of the day, I can only speak as one man, and I can only whether you endorse this or not, you are free to do that. But you have to force and put it on my throat and choke me by all means necessary. What is democracy? So let us not go there. The only thing is that a way forward for all Nigeria, let us be talking about a substantial issue. How do we going to continue to speak to this administration where your brothers and sisters can live a fair life? Not this, do you think go and tell Nigeria on the road right now? Oh, what do you think about the election? They will tell you when election is over. We are thinking about how to live our life and how to move forward, how to be able to eat, how to be able to move from point A to point B. That is what we are talking about now. So for you here, because you are in your comfort zone, you are still talking about election after the election is over. And I think Peter Obi, whether you like it or not, he's a politician and he does what politicians can do best. And I think I'm not saying that it is speech, whether it's right or wrong. All I said is that he is a politician and he worked on that part. But the only thing I criticize him is that he could have called him a president, not chief. He's not a chief. He's the president right now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I will have to take my leave and I will hand you guys over to electricity. But let me just say this. I like listening to everybody, and it's quite interesting hearing people who want to CM. What's going on?
Please, Rudolph, I also want to take my leave, but I need to say this, please, because sometimes when I laugh, I know that I don't hate anybody. There are attempts on this platform for people to set a different question and go on to answer it. No problem. But let us just be aware that it is taking place. I'm not against it too, but let us just be alert that some people will come and set a different question, or if you ask them a question, they will set a different one and then go and answer that in an attempt to bamboozle you. You can't bamboozle me. I know original question. That's one. Secondly, the next thing I want to say is this. Peter Obi only served Anambra State. The people of Anambra State gave him his mandate between 2006 to 2014, 8 years. It is only the people of Anambra State that we say whether the mandate we gave him, did he satisfy us? And they said yes. in Anambra, they said Peter Obi served them with distinction. It does not matter whatever any other person says. If the people of Nasarawa State say that the governor they elected served them well, it does not matter what somebody in somewhere else says. So let us get that principle. That's one. Then because of what Peter Obi did in Anambra, the guild, I think Nigerian Guild of Editors, I need to be checked on this, or NUJ, they conducted the opinion poll, or sort of they voted among themselves. Who has been the governor of the last 2 decades between 1999 to 2009? They all voted for Peter Obi. So that is a record. Knowing the fact that there have been so many governors between them, all the journal they voted for him say he is the best since the beginning of democratical dispensation from 1999 to 2009. So that is the record that projected Peter Obi to limelight. Why people started looking. That's why he said go and verify. So these are facts. It does not matter people agree to it or not. Peter Obi may, so to somebody from maybe Rivers, Nasarawa, Kano, Lagos, Ondo, Imo, maybe Enugu, Peter Obi may be a failure. But the people that gave him his mandate, that's what matters. You cannot be working for Zenith Bank and expecting to receive an award from First Bank. It's the Zenith you serve that will determine whether you're a crook or not. If Zenith Bank say you're a crook, it does not matter whether UBA say you're excellent. So that let's get the principles right. Some people come here and set a question and try to bamboozle us. You can't bamboozle somebody like me. I came here because I want to learn. But when you say what you want to say, it does not make meaning to me. I just leave you. I am responsible for whatever I say. I cannot be responsible for what you understand. Thank you, and let me take my leave.
All right, thank you. So let me finish up let me round up. So once again, thank you guys for coming here this time and with short notice and everything. I am happy that we are having conversation. I believe in having conversation. One of my mottos this idea of keep the conversation going and share the knowledge. Sometimes it may not look like knowledge, but we learn from it. Even the people who are on the wrong side, we learn from whatever we all put out, and we are wrong sometimes, all of us sometimes. So I thank you all, and I will hand you over to Electricity.
Please, guys, let's press the like button. I see only 5 of us, and 400 and something people are watching. Please.
All right, thank you. So I will see you guys. Oh, the other thing is, with this thing that happened today, I'm sure Electricity will still have echo from your end. So I don't know how you're going to do this. But I'm happy that with this that happened today, I mean, Peter Obi's press conference, it's most likely that he will now, because I know there were a lot of pressure on him and what appropriate platform to go and talk about, give his first reaction to the Supreme Court, and that conversation has been going on. So as soon as I get him get a date and time, I will let you guys know. But thank you, everybody, and I will see you.
Rudolph, sorry, yeah. Rudolph, wait. What about Bati? When is going to come?
Oh, he hasn't even. that's far away. We're not close to that, but I'm working on it. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Doctor, well done. No.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a question to the floor right now, and that is, Peter Obi claims or stated that
Mr. Electricity, your voice is fainting, please.
Come again?
Your voice is fainting. We're not hearing you.
Is everybody hearing me?
We can hear you now.
All right. He said the Labour Party will be the opposition party. In your opinion, do you think the Labour Party is credible enough or can be that opposition party?
Of course. But there's
explain
echo.
further?
Our voice is echoing.
Okay, Dan, you go first. I'll mute my mic, please.
Okay. I was on the background all this time listening because I'm at work at the moment, but I have a break. I want to just begin by telling somebody like John Abba that I don't want to say anything against him because this platform is a platform for disciplined people, matured people. So we give him his right to say whatever he wants to say. But sometimes I'm disappointed that there are people like him still talking the way he's talking, you know, when we know the problem of Nigeria and the cause of our problem. And that is why Nigerian problem is hard to solve, because there are some people who will come and be telling you that black is white, and he will just be forcing it. He said people want to force something down his throat. Why he's forcing more, what he's forcing on us down our throat is more than, it's like a ton of things. But let me just keep him aside, you know. That I shouldn't bother, but I thought I should make comment on him, that people like him should take care of what they say, because Nigerians are angry, very angry. The reason why Nigerians are still not doing what we are supposed to be doing now, we know the reasons. Because P2B is, for me, somebody I respected. I never knew who he was because I don't live in Nigeria. I've not been in Nigeria for more than 30-something years. So I wasn't following what the trend in Nigeria. But when he came up suddenly, and then I started following him, he was saying verify, verify. So I started verifying, and I found out that he's a man of dignity. He's a man that people should, and the whole Nigerian rallied behind him. You understand? But there's one song Peter Tosh sang. He said, equal rights and justice. He don't want peace. Instead, he wants equal right and justice. And he says one thing: everybody's aiming to get to the top, but how far is it from the bottom? You understand? P2B should have known, if you want to rescue Nigeria, he's supposed to realize that if it comes to being killed or being sent to jail like Nnamdi Kanu, he should be ready to do that. Yes, that is where I got it wrong. All this thing he's saying today, for me, it's just like I was trying to fall asleep, because he knows the system that he's trying to change. He knows how deep Nigerians are in a system that has been captured. So if you come up and say you represent the poor people like us, the common people who don't have nothing to eat, he must have considered that things might go wrong. You understand? John Abba was saying that he should call, why don't he mention Tinubu as president? Why should he mention him as president? Tinubu is not my president. Let's call him chief. That is what he wants. He's chief. He's a Zagaban.
Done. In the present red and blue chamber that we have in Nigeria, the question is, based on Peter Obi's claim, can the Labour Party be that credible, formidable opposition party?
Yes, I was trying to come to your question. But I wanted to make my view about the topic before you throw this question. Okay, let me answer so that I leave other people to continue. Let me say something. Already, the Labour Party is a fundamental opposition. And don't forget, the Labour Party is the obedient movement. Labour Party is a movement. You understand? It's a movement, obedient movement. We are still alive. But the problem is that P2B poured water on us. He did not strike the hammer when the iron was red. We knew they rigged the election, and we should have gone to the streets to demand our rights, like Mandela's and co. But P2B said we should wait for a system, a court case, where we know that the system holding the case will never give justice to us. So Labour Party is a formidable force.
Okay, can I come in?
No.
I'm not gonna waste time, please. I'm leaving now. Hold on, please, if you don't mind. Can I? There's an echo, by the way. I don't know what's in.
I think it's from my hand there, but
sorry. Dan, first of all, look, P2B is a man, is an individual, right? I mean, all the expectations on him, he doesn't have to have the character of a radical, right? So he's a leader. Leadership. People have made the point. Leadership.
Let me stop you there. My question is.
I'll answer a question. Let me answer a question.
Okay, just answer the question, please.
Okay. So yes, because the thing is this. As I said, this whole thing, the Nigeria, the way it is now, okay, is all our affairs. I mean, the affairs of Nigerians. This opposition, because it ought to be really a kind of opposing the regime. So the Labour Party is still part of the system, but civil society. I mean, this is where the job of people who can actually advocate. Student unions, even the Labour Party itself, the Labour Union of the wing of the Labour Party, and the other organizations. So a kind of a joint collaborative effort. Okay, so that is to oppose the government. Okay, and when it comes to it, to actually, you can't rule it out, toppling it, because it's an illegitimate regime. So, but the way they're going, it shows that they're not governing for the people. So it's just, the only thing is that, the Nigerians, the populace, haven't got the means to force that change. But Labour Party, yes, if they put themselves together, it doesn't matter the number, they can be opposition effective, of course, with the backing, okay, of the generality of the population. That's my view. Including the so because is all of us. You can't believe anybody leader. And okay. Have I answered your question?
Thank you very much.
Can I just address the point Dan made?
No.
So,
I just want us to focus on the question, please.
Right.
Can you, Henry? Can you answer the question, please?
Yeah. First of all, Labour Party was a party there before. Nobody, I don't even know about Labour Party then. Labour Party was a cash out party then. So since we call ourselves obedient, instead that we supported there will be a way of changing things in Nigeria. So we come as a movement, as a movement to support Peter Obi, and this Peter Obi have to look for a platform. That is where he got to Labour Party. I'm afraid of this Labour Party issue right now because of it's being hijacked by the so-called corrupt elites. We don't know how Peter Obi is going to do that. If he still has to go on this political way, I will advise him. That's my suggestion. I will advise him if he can form a new party, brand new party, to put this movement on. Because you see the way we come about Apapa and Co. We should know that something is going on there. So Labour Party is still not obedient. Obedient is a movement that back Peter Obi. But I don't know what's going to happen next because I don't even know. So when let me round up 1 minute, please. When somebody say Obi, what do you call it? Tinubu is your Moses of your time. That's an insult to the Nigerian people. That means he's supporting a fraudulent and corrupt system. That's an insult. When sometimes you have to educate your John Abba. He says he's educated. I don't see the way he speaks. He speaks like somebody from beer parlor. He has to think sometimes before he speaks in the public space. Nigeria belongs to we all. We want Nigeria to work. That's why we come here to speak about it. Obi is not a messiah, but he's better than all these politicians we saw in this past election. At least you will accept what I said.
Your opinion is I kind of go in the line of your opinion. I will give the floor to the gentleman.
Okay.
Thank you very much. The man on the striped t-shirt. I'm not saying your name. Yeah, go ahead.
Sid. All right. Thank you. Electricity. Okay. First of all, your question was if it was Labour Party is a credible opposition and is it an opposition that can do it? I'm still getting feedback. Number one is credible. It's credible because it's a party, and they just recently became the third force, and they recently became they had a strong showing in the last election. Can they do it? Yes, they can. The question should be how effective can the Labour Party push? Like I said in my earlier proposition, I said there's a space that is being vacated because the PDP are not very good in opposition. They've shown it in the last 8+ years that they don't have a roadmap, a strategy in terms of opposition. Their understanding of opposition is still old school, which is play with the leadership, play with the APC, get what you can get, and can what you can. So that's how the PDP plays their opposition. So Labour Party needs to play. Now, how do they play it? First of all, it starts from today. He's ended his run, and now he has declared that he wants to run an opposition. So the first thing I think he needs to do is to tidy up his party. I don't think he should move to another party. Why? Because just for nomenclature, for naming what has happened in this election, the brand name is already out there, Labour Party. So if he moves to another thing, it becomes a new name to engineer people. So he already has the brand name Labour Party. And we know that the shenanigans that were happening was Tinubu trying to finger the party and bring it down from the inside. So first of all, what I expect him to do is to become the leader of the party. Yes, he has a chairman, but become the leader of the party. Broaden his base. He already has his obedient base, people sympathetic to him. Broaden that base, bring them into the party, and create reforms within the party. Create very strong structural reforms in the party so that genuine obedience will not just be on the periphery. Now, because the obedience are partyless people, all right, but sympathetic to a man. But now the obedience must also have that migration to be able to migrate from just being on the periphery to being party men and now create party reforms, because Nigeria needs to have party reforms so that we have a culture of opposition and a culture of really authentic parties that have broad base cut across generational lines and normal traditional religious and cultural lines. So he needs to broaden that base, take hold of that base. I'll just take a cue from somebody like Kwakwanso. The reason why Kwakwanso was so was still in the race was because he kept that his base of the Kwakwansia movement, which is where he does his dealings. So Obi should realize that now I have a strong base. Atiku has a problem, and his problem is age. He has the age problem. I don't know how he will navigate that. He has massive issues in PDP, weak case issues, and the governors. Look at what the governors in PDP did. They went to meet the president, and they're already parlaying with the president. So basically, they've thrown Atiku under the bus. So I believe the Labour Party can be the real opposition. And if you notice the way the government attacks the Labour Party and obedience, they realize that the only people that are giving us stress online, the only people that are calling us out, the only people that are giving us pressure, all eyes on judicial, the only pressure we get are from these nameless obedience. So, and they never thought that the obedience could go the long haul to the Supreme Court. So now they feel that we don't think they can go a new 4-year election cycle. We don't think they can do that. So, but it's now for obedience not to be discouraged, to say, look, we have to fight for our country and we have to help that opposition. Now, without the obedience, Peter Obi will not have a headway in the opposition. That is the truth. This is the realities, because he cannot trust the people in the Senate and the people in the House of Rep, because those people are still on the individual base and they're still running on an operational system, a political operational system that is of the old order. So the obedient base must be increased and brought into the Labour Party. There must be that migration. And then the Labour Party creates an internal reform system that makes it very strong in opposition. And you will see that new leaders will begin to emerge from local government and other areas.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to push you a little bit back, if you don't mind. In your earlier argument, when Peter Obi was defending, thank you, Henry. When Peter Obi was trying, well, I won't use the word justify, it appears contradictory in respect to the supplementary budget of 400 cars, and some of the obedient legislators also will receive it. You rightly say that, okay, it will be bought either way, whether they receive it or not. Don't you think that it would have been morally right and boost the confidence of people if the Labour Party legislator, both in the upper and the lower chambers, refused to accept this vehicle, including the pass token that was given? Do you not think that may affect, I use the word may, affect the credibility or them being a formidable opposition party, given to the climate that we are living at this very moment?
Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you in terms of optics. In terms of optics, I agree with you that I expected that the opposition, the Labour Party senators will come together, even if it's there two, and say, look, we reject this. This is not our stand. We expect that this should be the way things are done. We don't accept this, even if they're in the minority and their votes don't matter. All right, they should have taken that stand. What it does is that it keeps people understanding that, okay, this party, this is what they stand for. Now they have missed that moment. But in this statement, Peter Obi was able to differentiate. That's why he did what he did. That, look, I've told them this is how it's supposed to be, but these guys are saying they've already bought it. So what he did in that axis was maintaining his base, which is the obedient who are not yet migrated in. So Peter Obi is still saying, I have my obedience with me. These guys, I've told them what to do, but this is what they said. So I agree with you that it should have given them a better boost. But is it something that can be worked at? Yes. And that is why I said there must be increase of base, migration of most obedience into that political space of the Labour Party, and then start doing proper corrections within the Labour Party. Let's remember that the Labour Party was a vehicle that just got a boost by the obedience. They were not going anywhere. The last elections, they have no base, anything. But the Labour Party was a structure that could carry that vehicle that the obedience needed in Nigeria's political space. So, but at the moment of election, where there's a lot of adrenaline, where we're all pumped up, a lot of the knotty issues have not been addressed. And that's why a good political operator like Tinubu could penetrate and try to destabilize it, because it is not a very built, strong structure. If you notice, before I end, if you notice, Tinubu found it difficult to penetrate the PDP. The PDP's problem was just an internal implosion, because the PDP, they are masters of the game also. It was just Wike's own personal ambition that really broke the PDP. So, but smaller parties do not have that level of political sagacity to withstand certain things. So this is a time to really build a political party out of the movement, just like what's happening in South Africa. We have the Malema guy. He has a movement. He has migrated it politically, and it is now becoming a very strong opposition in this South African parliament. So I think that is my take on it. They should have taken that time, but it doesn't mean that they cannot recover it politically.
Yeah, Don, can you weigh in on the issue of the supplementary budget? Do you think that the Labour Party upper and lower chamber senators should reject it? In fact, at this very moment, if it's already been given, do you think they should return it back and say we are not going to accept it?
The supplementary budget, you mean?
Supplementary budget. I believe it's been bought already. It's been approved already. And
Yes, supplementary budget, they cannot reject it because it needs to
I
be
don't mean
voted
they
for.
rejecting it. I mean the vehicles or whatever is used, the
Okay,
money is used.
the technicality of this is this. They are not buying it for
I
the
understand that they are not
good.
buying it in the name of individual. They are buying it in the name of the government. But
So,
the individuals can still say, you know what?
yes, they
We
can
don't
come to
oppose
that
this
moral
budget
high ground
right now. Yeah,
where
yeah.
they say
So,
we are not accepting this and we'll still use
do
our
you
cards.
think, Dan, do you think they should reject it?
Is it my turn now?
Yes, it's
Okay.
your turn.
Yeah. Please let me just give me 30 seconds to just say something about this, what the brother was talking about, Labour Party, that we should still remain in Labour Party. The other brother said something. If I was in Obi's shoes at this right moment, I will tell you something. The Labour Party that we see today has already been bought. It's been compromised. So if Obi really want to make a wave, still want to make himself relevant to the obedient now, he should leave Labour Party alone right away and move in and open a movement, even if they call it Obedient Party. And that is my opinion at this moment. So that we will just leave that Labour Party and that their problems away, because Tinubu has Labour Party members there that will always bring us back to square one. That is my personal opinion. Okay, then let me answer. Let me come to your question now. First of all, what the happening in the upper house and lower house is something that that's why I mentioned what I'm saying, that Obi should leave Labour Party, because they will say now they did not buy the cars individually. It's for the whole chamber. I think that's what they are saying. So, but the Labour Party agents didn't reject it. They should have rejected it, because that will answer your first question. Are we going to be an opposition to be reckoned with? If they don't reject things like that, like you always say electricity, that we should recall. I always believe in what you say. When our representatives are not working, we should have the power to recall them. You understand? Because they are the people who pass all these laws that they are making, that gives these presidents the executive a lot of powers. So if they cannot stand and say the truth, which I mean, Obi gave these guys this platform to get to where they got into. So if they cannot represent Obi in the house, then they shouldn't be there, because they cannot say that they come and Nigerians are suffering, and then the people the majority, which is APC and Tinubu, decides they want to live in a luxurious life. You understand? And then you guys who are following Obi and the obedience, you say, okay, no problem, because we are minority, we cannot influence it. But let's hear your voice. Let's hear that voice that rejects it. You understand? You cannot accept those type of things and allow the obedience who voted you in. Which is the obedience that voted them in there to represent us, to stop those type of excessive spending. But when they get there, they don't even say nothing. I did not hear one of them reject it or say, please, oh, let us think well. They didn't say nothing. They just like they used to say, they whitewash them. They just say, okay, just anything Baba say, let's follow. This is my take on that.
Thank you. To the three gentlemen, Dan, I don't know if I can get your commitment. I normally run a comment show only. However, I'm going to make an exception. If I can have you guys what day of the week will you be free between Thursday and Friday? For us, I have a program in line with these that I'm already prepared to broadcast. So I will want to bring you on the platform and put several questions to you. I'm gonna dissect the speech again, and there are other things. And so, what day of the week of between Thursday and Friday can you, gentlemen, give me your commitment, if you can?
Well, I would say Thursday.
Okay, how about Miss City?
What time are we thinking about?
Probably the same time like this. It's maybe. Well, are you guys in the US? If I'm correct.
Sorry, I'm in the UK. By the way,
Okay,
sorry,
UK.
this echo is that? Are you guys having the echo as
It's
well?
on my hand. I'm using my phone. That's why. Sorry about that.
Right.
So what you will do is you can just give your number to Dr. Rudolph,
Yeah.
and he will give it to me in return. Then we will done on Thursday, UK time, 4:30 UK time, 5:30 Nigerian time, and that will be 11:30 American time. We will continue this broadcast in a more expandable way. Then I'll put questions to you, gentlemen. I would really appreciate if you honor my invitation, please, as I bring this broadcast to an end.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening.
Right. Okay. Thank you.